welcome, guys. OG Merpe here with you. We are here for my home game. This is the first game I ever DM'd with the first guys I've ever really played a continuous D&D game with, besides a month here or starting a character in a session one there. It's pretty much from scratch, ground up, homebrew. I've done some collaborating with some friends in it. I'm running two campaigns out of it right now, about to start a third, and we're really starting to get into the thick of it in this campaign. So there are a couple of just real quick things. It's a home game that these guys are nice enough to let me stream. This is not like a four Twitch streaming type session. We're literally just playing D&D. We're not being politically correct. Nobody's concerned about anything other than the other seven people who are involved in this process. So if that's entertaining to you, great. But if you are, I don't know. If there are there may be questionable themes. I guess full disclosure. All right, and without further ado, let's get to it. Let's do the thing.
We go to
All
different
right.
churches, so.
Who's welcome? I'm live. Who's doing the recap?
I can do it. Let me finish my bite, though.
No.
They're coming for our food.
You have to do it in character as Monzo with a mouthful of food. Go.
Oh, that'd be perfect.
That was in character.
Oh.
So we're on a mission to go south of Edgetown to learn more about the piece of armor that the young boy Reed has. Part of that and we have some lore on that we got in the library. We were also told that on the way, if we kill orcs between Edgetown and Isilde and get their tusks, we can turn them in for a price to make some money on the side. We know that, and the part of that lore is we know each piece of armor has a specific purpose, and we have a shield that I believe it blocks dragon fire. It's currently our fourth day in Edgetown when we started heading south. We visited a store before we left and bought some rations and items. No big purchases, mostly just provisions. We started heading south. Monzo led the way because he was the fastest, but also he has cataracts in his eyes, so he's not able to see very well with low perception rolls. We were staying off the road, so it slowed our travel down a bit. On the way, we spotted a campfire, and we snuck around it. We found a used camp, and we did some investigating. We realized this was a spot that was commonly used. I don't think we slept. I think we just kept going because it was midday. So we kept going, and then we kept going south parallel to the road, and then we ran into a couple of Lord Estebar's archers. A Tesk bullied them. I have a note on that, so that's a fact. We then, they told us that some of their archers, some other in their troop have died fighting the orcs, and the orcs are a big threat. We know there's dozens of them at least, in sporadic camps on, the east side of the road. They're thicker, less of them on the west side. So I think we made the decision to cross over and go down the less populated side of orcs to try to sneak around some of the camps while we head south. We learned a whistle. And we also have some lore from Reed. We know the whistle of how to call out other of Lord Estebar's archers with the Nightingale whistle. And we also have a map that we got from Lee, one of the archers. And I think that's... Oh, and then Kythar's on watch. Here's a low rumble, earthquake. Oh, so we spent the night, and I don't think anything really happened.
They just got shook, and like a bunch of deer beasts passed
bleeding
through
goats.
us. Yeah.
Yep. That's a pretty dang complete deal. You had mentioned Reed has some lore, so if Reed wants to fill that in.
Sorry, Are you talking about the orcs?
Presumably.
Are you talking about? I'm assuming that's the lore that you're talking about because I wasn't here last session.
Uh,
Uh,
well, I mean, you were here for the first part of last session, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm assuming that's what you're talking about then. Let me find message. Son of a bitch. Okay, so I was given a message by Iomade in my dream. She says, "They come for you, seeking that which you carry, sent by another ancient adversary. The protection offered by the tallest wall betrays those behind it the moment it falls." And she sent me a vision of what looks like legions of orcs and possibly dragons, but I could not really, it was not clear. That is what I have as far as lore goes.
Does anybody in the party have anything to add? Go ahead.
Did we?
We decided to move towards the through the more populated side of the road.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, from my understanding.
I thought we were taking the west route to avoid as many orcs as possible while we're.
I thought we were going to the strong route.
So, because we have more players in this session than we have last session, and I suspected that this might be a point of contact, this conversation is where you guys will just start in character. Is having this conversation of whether or not you're going east or west as you're like waking up. You guys talked about it the night before, but you guys have been going nonstop basically for 2 weeks. You guys celebrated your 2-week anniversary in the last couple of travel days. Of like hanging out and doing stuff together, and so that's where we'll start you guys with your characters. So I see that we've got most of the people in the game here. While we're finishing getting people in game, can we do super quick character introductions? So in Discord order, Atesk, you're up.
Hi, I'm Atesk. I cast magic missile, escape from a magic tower, and I love things that are magic.
What are you, race and class?
Oh, right. I gotta do all that stuff. Atesk is a half elf sorcerer. I don't know which one off the top of my head. He's a sorcerer. He's an elf.
That's
and
cool.
yeah, no, he's an elf because I remember people don't really elves are uncommon in this area.
Yeah.
Something I need to be aware of.
Yeah.
All right, that's enough.
Cool, love it. Next is Monzo.
So Monzo is mid-20s. Looking at him, he's really light complexion, bald, about 240 pounds, average height, 5'6", 5'7". He's a level 5 monk. He likes items and knickknacks. He also loves food, and he tries to keep everybody, he tries to take food from people. Is one of his running themes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Next is Simone.
Simone is a elf summoner, and he is basically a cello elf. He is bald with goggles that look like lokes and long, paper thin mustache, and he has a super long chainmail that goes down into shorts that then go into tall long socks. And he has a summoner, or his Eidolon is Will, who is a sassy cat.
The sassiest. Reed,
Yeah.
I can see you are muted. Are you ready to go?
Yes, I'm ready to go. I am a. I want to make him uncomfortable. I'm a young pubescent boy from the Church of Aomade. Much to Monzo's liking.
Oh my God, Monzo!
And
we got to talk about some shit.
And I'm a paladin. My goddess is the goddess of justice. Let's read.
All right, great. Professor, you're up.
Yeah, Arthur Struba. He's a level 5 human gunslinger. He's from the University Castle of New Birmingham. He's on the hunt for a family heirloom, and he ran into these jagaloons, and he's trying to find it.
What are you calling Jagaloon?
That's great. Very concise. And you are a human gunslinger, yes?
Human gunslinger. Oh yeah, flintlocks.
Love it. Which leaves Kythar.
Hi, I'm Kaithar.
Hi, Kythar.
I play a drunk barbarian in D&D, and I play a drunk guy on real life. My character build is more of a muscular guy, very opposite I am. He wears a hide armor that barely protects his nipples, so you can see them. They're rock solid when it's cold, and he's trying to a bunch of orcs fucked up his clan. And he's basically on revenge.
There you go. That's very concise. I like that a lot. Castle says, not the nipple protection.
I took the inspiration of rock hard nipples from my dear friend, the hooker.
Reed's player.
Reed's player. Very inspiration from the actual life.
Hey, be careful.
Okay.
Be careful about that.
My best friend has really hard knock nipples that can cut ice. Okay, that's all I gotta say to chat.
We are also playing with Sigbert, who is a human fighter. He is, a middle-aged man, I believe, who, keeps to himself, is practically minded, and, so far seems to have the couple of moral choices that you guys have had to make. He's stood on the moral side of those. So that's Sigbert. He is unfortunately unable to join us tonight, and I'm going to just do the best I can with him as we go through the evening here. So unless he specifically called to one of you guys, wanted you guys to play him, maybe.
I was not told to play him,
All right, then,
but I will if it calls upon me.
Yeah, I mean, it would definitely lighten the load. It's no secret that you guys are likely looking at combat at some point soon. So, just take from that what you will. And on that note, as we've introduced all of your characters, you've been traveling in the through these woods now for 2 days. You know that you're nearing the edge of the forest here, and you'll have a few more days travel through this jagged, mountainous, rocky terrain before you reach the Crooked Gap, which is the chokehold that you were told by Lord Estevar to, there are orcs in this range of space, we'd really appreciate any help we could get in that department, and just kind of offered you guys a general price for trophies from them. So you guys have, been traveling for a couple of days. You run into these rangers who have basically given you 2 possible routes, which both end up, at that mountainous terrain, at the Crooked Gap, at that bottleneck. He warned you that going west you were more likely to get lost, but that, based on the maps that he had, there was a possible route which, in theory, you could mostly avoid combat. Whereas on the east side of the map, on the east side of the road, rather, the map had just entire bands where there were sections that were just like red zones, basically, where it was if you go in this space, you're gonna have a fight at some point, more often than not. And so you guys are basically at your fork in the road moment where you need to choose a route to get to your ultimate destination, and obviously you guys need to reach some kind of consensus. So it's, you guys had talked about it the night before, and reached a tentative conclusion to go the western route, but some of your players were quiet some of your characters were quiet because your players were not there. And now that we have more players around the table, it's the following morning, bright and early, and we find you all around the campfire eating something delicious which Monzo has prepared, discussing which route you're going to take with your day.
I just want to find out, after Monzo cooked it, how much is left over? It's a true question there.
Well, I assume everybody gave me, bring BYOB. Bring your own breakfast.
I thought it would be BYOR.
It's one of those
Bring your
awkward
own
situations
rations.
where Monzo sets down like a huge platter mounding of food, and everybody like walks up thinking he's made food for the camp, and he like picks it up and like turns around, like, no, this is my breakfast. What are you guys gonna eat?
I believe that more than anything at that point.
Hey, David, quick question.
Yeah, shoot.
So looking at the actual map,
Right.
Can you describe where we are? I'm looking at the Crooked Gap.
So you guys are north of the Crooked Gap itself. The space between Edgetown and that very narrow space of terrain where, it says the Crooked Gap, you've been told that's about 4 days of travel. So you guys are about halfway to that point, and you know that at some point during this day, you're going to walk out of the forest and into more of like a tundra, more open space. The trees are getting like farther and farther apart as you're making your way towards the edge here. But you've got a couple of days of basically nonstop uphill walking to get to the gap, and then you'll have a couple of days of nonstop downhill walking on the other side of it, based on the maps that Sigbert found during your guys' library session.
Okay.
And like you guys are not technically in uncharted territory because you literally found charts of this stuff, but you are definitely in what I would describe as wilderness. You guys are definitely in what I would describe as uninhabited lands, or uncivilized lands. So just keep that in mind as you're traveling through here. Great, so here you guys are this morning, in this, like I said, up at the edge of the forest, knowing that sometime in the next few hours you'll be walking out of the tree line and into, more open, more exposed space. And you guys are debating which route you are going to take. And because Sigbert's not here, I'll start us off, and Sigbert, addresses the group and says, well, last night we had talked about going on the west route and just killing as many orcs as we could and getting as many trophies as we could for a higher payday. Is everyone still feeling gold motivated this morning?
I guess I forgot to ask the question. Which path is shorter, fool?
Or east, I'm sorry. Looking at your maps, the eastern, more dangerous route is definitely the more direct route.
I'd say we just go the shortest route.
Well, what do the new people think that just woke up after 2 long days of sleeping?
2 long days of sleep.
Well, what do Reed and Arthur think? Professor Struva.
You see Arthur cleaning his muskets and blowing off a little bit of the dust and pretty much getting his powder keg ready, and I'm in.
Huh. All right.
What?
Which hey Joe, do you need me to turn my stream on?
So this, like I said, you're not even at the way.
No, sorry, I can't hear anything that's going on apparently. So that's great.
What?
That's great. Ideal. Can you guys hear me? Somebody say something, please.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Would somebody put in chat that we can, in fact, hear him? Because it sounds like he can't hear us.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I can't hear you. No, I can hear you. Okay, I can hear you now.
Well, we can hear you, so if you can hear us, then we're
I'm
good.
sorry. The eastern path is towards the orcs. The shortest path.
The shortest path is the eastern path towards the orcs. Correct.
Towards the orcs. I'm okay fighting the orcs if they're going to end up killing innocent people anyway. All the better, because it's my job to prevent that.
Can we fight that many orcs though? What do you guys think?
And as a reminder, the rangers that you guys just ran into, we're talking about how they could take 2 to a man, and they're like, this is their profession, But they're not. They're no better than you, better equipped than you are. So
Yeah.
And Joe, do you need me to turn my stream on, or you get your thing all working?
I'm good. It was just I was just getting like significant lag for a second for some reason. No, you don't need to take your stream on. I can theater mind it for a while.
Oh, I don't mind. I'll
Uh,
anyway.
so yeah, I'm gonna be like, I've always been towards the shorter path pool. I think we can take some orcs.
I think we can take some after, especially after Lord Estebar's reinforcements arrive.
Plus fool. And then I'm kind of like wiggling my fingers around with the ring on it. I was like, I could definitely use more of this.
referencing the treasure, I like it.
That is correct. So
You
what
can
about
you can keep your treasure.
Uh-huh.
Oh, speaking of treasure, it did not get gone over in the recap. I want to make sure everybody who's not here knows that before you all departed Edgetown, those of you who had your magical items taken from you by the mystery being found them in your belongings again before you left, along with a note which said simply, "You really ought to take better care of your things," and it was signed Cade. So I think I don't remember who exactly lost items, but I want to make that announcement real quick before we get too far into the session. Speaking of treasure,
I think it was like Sigbert. I feel maybe I know Stover, you lost your items, right?
Yeah, the incendiary rounds.
Well, you got him back.
You can tell Arthur's pretty pleased. Because he like has them in his hands like every now and then. Like he'll take a couple of them out, and you just see his hands kind of like start glowing a little bit, from the fire. He's like, it's a little hot. Puts it back.
If you don't have inspiration, Stover, take it. I love it. It's a beautiful little moment for your character.
Hey. Okay.
That's hilarious. Okay, cool. So yeah, I'm gonna be like, all right, fool. So I'm gonna look up into the sky and be like, I think it's time for us to get going if we're gonna go.
The drunk one hasn't weighed in.
Hold on, let me see if I can unmute him now.
The drunk one.
All right.
He was
Kythar?
There we go. He's been unmuted.
Oh, well,
there we go.
Message in there. Let's go.
Let's go. Cool.
All right.
So it sounds like there's a consensus to move east.
That is correct.
More dangerous.
What? Yeah, the one that is the shorter path.
Great. Then I need to know if you guys have any particular strategy, what your marching orders are as far as who's where, and then whoever's leading the party needs to make me a survival roll.
Yes.
Kythar usually takes rear, so I'm gonna take rear on this one.
And we should probably talk about how we want to. There's two separate paths. We're going to be on. The road turns into a walking path. Is that right, David?
You guys are going to be basically making your way through the forest with. No, I mean, some of these areas are hunting paths that the rangers use, but a lot of this is just kind of like a hand drawn line that Simone has just drawn on it based on because basically Simone took his map that he had from Lord Estebar's estate and the Rangers map, put them on top of each other and copied everything down, and then gave the Ranger back his map. And so now he has this map of where all the hot zones are, and he drew just by hand a route through, the most direct way on one side, and then the most, least confrontational way on the other side. So you guys are going to pretty much just be walking through the road and then cutting through the forest and then back on the road, and then because he drew pretty much the most direct route. So.
Okay, so yeah, let's go east. As long as we follow that path you drew, we should be able to miss most of the groups, maybe. And should we all go as one big line this time instead of splitting up, since the map isn't as easy to follow?
Yeah, fool. Just I think that we should keep a brisk pace and keep our eyes out.
As soon as I digest this, it takes I need like an hour.
Don't you digest while you walk?
It's not as fast. You have
Nah,
to let
fool.
it settle. My grandma always said you got to let it settle.
If we're going into enemy
How
territory,
big was your
fool,
grandma?
Jesus. You got to be ready, fool. I say get up. Let's go.
All right, I'm ready to go.
Saddle up, Buttercup.
All right, so I believe I would like in my
just
perfect
line
scenario.
your guys' self up, your actual character
Yeah.
tokens in whatever order you're going through.
I feel like Sigbert should go first.
Yeah, he does. Well, but we don't have his character sheet, so we may not be able to have him go first.
Well, actually, I do.
Put me near
I have
the
an
middle.
old version of his character sheet. I think I have last level, so I can go
I
off
feel
of
like one
that.
of us should. Well, doesn't Professor Struva? What's your perception?
For perception,
Maybe it's survival.
for survival, he's got a 6 modifier.
But it's not unreasonable for you guys to have somebody whose sole responsibility is getting you to your destination and somebody else who's basically playing lookout. I mean, that's reasonable, which would be perception and survival, respectively.
Yeah, so maybe them two in the front, Tyler and I in the middle with Monzo and Kythar in the back.
Yeah, my perception is a +6.
Yeah, we need good perception in the back too.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, in case we get surrounded.
Yeah, so then how about this? Reed. So Sigbert right here. Simone. Me and Tyler in the middle of the squishies. Kythar in the back.
We can do it with Will. You can keep Will near you or more.
Yeah,
out
Will
from-
he'll be on my side. Like
okay,
next to me.
if he's close to you, do you want to have him in the rear next to me to pay more protection for Tusk?
Sure. I can do that.
Okay, and I do have Sigbert here, so I'm gonna put him in chat. And if somebody wants to run him, I'm not going to be grumpy about that at all. He does have a +1 longsword now, which he had taken from him at one point. So, okay, great. Who's survivaling and who is perceptioning?
I'll survival for Sigbert.
Wait, you asked everybody to roll survival, didn't you?
No, just the person leading. Somebody's responsible for getting you guys
Damn
there.
it.
That person's rolling survival.
I would
Somebody
say
else is doing lookout. That person's rolling perception.
Kythar, I think Kythar is going to do the perception for the rear.
Yeah, we're talking about the front, I think.
So I would like forward. Sigbert has a +8 to survival, so I would like for him to try to get us there.
Yeah, I got +10 for perception, so I can help you for lookout in front.
Perfect.
So I will for the rear or no?
If you guys want to roll for the rear, I think that's I think probably for just a lookout. Obviously, a survival's not going to do any good because
what's Will's perception, Anthony?
It's not the best. Let's see.
It's better than 6.
It is a 6.
So, just in case it counts for something, I did roll the survival check. If you want it, I did roll a nat 20.
Nope, that's why
I don't want to waste.
That's why your DM That's why you wait until your DM tells you to roll before you roll. That's why the game works that way.
You said everybody roll a survival check.
No, I said
that's not what he said at all.
Roll a survival check.
That's exactly what he said.
So
And the person leading rolled a 23.
Great. And that's the survival.
That's the survival.
Great. Who's doing the perception up there?
I am.
Great. What's your roll on that?
13 altogether.
Okay, and my rear watch, what'd you get?
I guess Will. Unless Tyler wants to roll.
Well, I think Soto
I don't think
to
you
roll.
want that.
Soto decided.
Sorry, I was reading for perception or survival.
Perception. You don't
Perception.
You're already walking.
Oh, okay.
We'll get this, guys.
I like when everyone talks over each other.
14. Sorry, I gotta do math real quick.
14, love it. As far as your route goes, you guys are. This is a day of travel, so it's going to come in bits and pieces as different events may or may not happen. But that survival roll is more than adequate to keep you guys not only on pace, but to keep you guys on pace at that quickened pace that you're trying to go through. It's still, making your way through some trails and other areas that would be considered, difficult terrain in combat. But with the right route, picking just the right way through, you can still move through it pretty quickly.
Can we have like a montage of us all like running through forests and like mountainous terrain? Monzo looks like he's like gracefully walking through everything, while Simone is.
Meanwhile, Reed is clanking, clink, clank, clink, clank
Yeah,
as he's making
yeah.
his way through, and Sigbert's like in the front with his sword out, like cutting shit out of the way as he's as it's there. Before too long, with 13, Arthur is not able to see anything, but he hears like a low groan, murmur, uh, uh, something,
Growl?
a purr, a growl. He hears some kind of noise that sounds vaguely of distress. And it's a little bit muted because you guys are still in a forest setting with trees that'll disperse some sound. But as he looks around, he does see the glint of metal, about 100 feet off of the route that you guys are on, and a large figure that appears to be like crumpled near it.
Is it on the same? Is it on the same plane? Is it below us, above us?
No, same plane. You're like looking through. I mean, slight elevation, maybe like 7-10 degrees to get to that point because you guys are in kind of a hilly terrain right now. But that's more parallel to where the grade is. And like I said, it's the glint of metal and then some kind of large figure that seems to be like slumped on the ground.
Okay, can I get an idea of? Can I put like the arrows if I go over here? I'm pointing on the map right now with green arrows.
It's from the direction you guys are traveling, which would be generally south. It would be farther. It would be farther east than you guys are going.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, I'll go up to Sigbert and let him know about the noise. Sigbert, I see metal. Looks like armor, possibly orcs.
I think like Sigbert would stop everyone.
Probably fair.
Yeah.
And with that, I mean, you weren't whispering it. You were saying it loud enough for the rest of your party to hear, Stover.
Well, that was the point: is to say it within earshot of Sigbert, and then he would stop, and then the remaining caravan would also stop because we're in front of them.
Okay, that's fair. And this whole thing, everybody almost bumps into the person in front of them as Sigbert, comes to a halt. Kythar looks around and also sees the figure with that same score off in the distance.
But I run into a task, and unfortunately, my bulkiness pushes him over because he's just so. Can I don't know. I accidentally bumped into a task, and I'm gonna roll a.
Don't waste your
trip. I'm gonna roll a. No, I'm gonna roll a trip. I'm gonna roll a trip.
Well, you can't. You can't.
Oh,
just do that.
Not one. I rolled a nat one. Play it off.
It doesn't. That's not how this game works. You have to. If you're gonna roll against a player, the player has to agree to that roll against them. That's how my game works.
I trip. He can roll against me. I'm fine with that.
I fall and trip into a task. I roll a nat 1, tripping into a task.
Which means, in my book, that you just fall flat on your face as he takes just one big step and gets, like you bump into him and then he steps forward and then you fall into the space that he was in and just face plant.
Okay, is it mud? Is it shit? Is it cow shit? Is it horse shit?
It's forest floor. It's like leaves. It's like leaves and sticks and like a roly poly.
All right, sounds good. I gave you a layup. That's what you gave me. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There goes the real guard.
I know.
Oh. And all you followed me as a rear guard. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna be like, hey fool, I thought you ran out of alcohol.
He did. That's true.
It's called. It's
Have
called
you been
second
sucking
wind.
on?
It's called a second wind.
I'm just gonna kind of
Okay.
shake my head and look forward and be like, all right,
Okay.
I got an idea, fools. So like, how about we try to sneak up to them as much as we can, and then just sprint at them and attack them?
Who do you want being up front?
Thank you for volunteering, fool.
Oh shit. Okay.
I'm gonna.
Fuck it.
Hey,
I'm going to withdrawals. I'm going to withdrawals to say fuck it. Nothing's worse than this, and I go up to the front.
Oh, okay.
Hey, if you haven't noticed, some of us aren't sneaky, and I'm gonna point at me and the drunk.
And just in the process of pointing, it's clink, clank, clink. Like as he's pointing back and forth.
I have hide armor. It does make clink clink.
No.
clink.
No, Reed's pointing at you
Talking
and
about me.
pointing back at himself. So the
my
elbow
bad.
joints as his armor's like hitting it and the shoulder pads like bouncing, you know.
I look back. It's like, do you have any WD fucking 40?
So I'm gonna look at.
I'm sorry. What is
Lord.
that? Reed wouldn't say fuck. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm trying to.
There you go. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Simone?
Yeah.
So I go like, I go to Arthur and I go, hey fool, have we confirmed it's a fucking orc?
All I saw was
Fucking hard.
Arthur's gonna look and just be. I saw metal. Typically, I don't see metal in said forest.
That's definitely true, fool. Maybe let's try to get a little bit closer and see what happens.
I agree. Let's investigate. And then you see Arthur get his musket up to ready, and then
and then I'm gonna look at Reed and them all. Try to be as quiet as you can, fool.
All right. Clink clank.
And I'm gonna look at Atas. Gonna be like, hey fool, you're responsible for this guy, and I'm gonna point at Kythar.
I don't know if
Come
that's a good
again?
idea.
I pull out my right arm and just grab a Tusk into a brace, like a little brother like a big brother giving his little brother a noogie, or the school bully giving his.
I'm about to say he backed up
They're
from
dirty.
Simone trying to touch his tummy. I don't know if he's gonna let you. How's
No,
you
no.
acting to that desk?
No, I don't care. He doesn't I'm grabbing him by the we can roll for this, but I'm like that's my intention. I grab him.
How does
Fine.
a Tesk react to that?
It's fine. I think he'd be taken completely off guard. He would
Love
not be prepared for that
So his
action.
eyes
so
are the
there's
size
no
of
way
fucking
for a test to
saucers
respond.
throughout this process. Kythar just like bug-eyed, very surprised. Who is it? Simone had talked about moving quietly. Are you guys moving?
Yes, I believe we're moving.
yeah, I'm moving with Sigbert.
Sounds great. And as you guys, all crouch down and make your way through, and Reed is, clanking around, and some of you are quieter than others. I know you guys haven't rolled. You get slightly closer, and you're able to identify very easily that the glint of metal was a large, crude bear trap type contraption, and the slumped figure that is caught here is a centaur with leg crusted in blood, obviously having been here a while, shallowly breathing and like mumbling.
He's mumbling.
Yeah,
What is he?
but
what's
like
the thing?
like
Can we roll
fever
a
dream
perception?
mumbling,
Or what do you
like nothing coherent.
So he's not dying then. He's not.
Oh no, he's in
Definitely dying.
terrible shape. He is
He is
terrible
100%
shape.
dying.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
No, you go.
I wanted to hear what he was trying to say.
He's just mumbling. It's like a
And-
fever dream. It's just.
Could I do a detect?
I mean, yeah.
I don't know detect alignment, but could I do a detect evil?
Yeah, and there's not evil here. Absolutely not.
Hey, Reed, why don't you? A whisper. Hey, Reed, why don't you?
Okay. Hey, do we
Oh,
want to see
I'm
what this
back.
guy's
Actually, never mind.
saying?
I'm not there.
You are there.
I thought I was. I thought.
What?
No,
Director,
I'm sorry. You guys,
hanging
you
back.
guys keep cutting out. I don't know what the fuck's going on with my internet right now.
It's okay. It just comes and goes, so we'll just deal with it.
I'm
I was gonna.
gonna switch to my hotspot.
Okay.
In the
I
meantime,
would
anybody
run.
else want to react to this?
Yeah. I'd like to run up to the bear trap, or run up to the minotaur and like assess his condition.
Centaur.
If I can
Centaur.
do like a centaur, sorry. Can I do like a
Medicine check.
heal or a medicine? It's called heal. I don't think there's a medicine, is
Heal
there?
would be heal check. Yeah. Heal check would be the way. And then you can actually even use that to try and stabilize him once he's out of the
Okay.
trap if you want. But while he's in the trap, he can't be stabilized.
Oh, 19.
Yeah.
He's stuck in a fucking bear trap.
Right. He's very pale. He's very weak. Like I said, he's breathing incredibly shallowly. Based on his condition, how dried this blood is, he may have been here for like 2, maybe 3 days at this point, and is, not doing well at all.
Can I pull some like my water bladder thing out of my pack and like go over to him and like try to give him water?
Yeah, absolutely. And as you do, his tongue just kind of like reacts to it, and his eyes just like flutter, which are mostly closed and rolled back. But as if you're getting the human reaction version of static, as he and he does manage to get a gulp or two of it down, but he's obviously basically largely unconscious.
Yeah. I just when you've been in the forest stuck for 2 days,
Right.
I'd imagine you want some water.
Yeah. Hey.
I can heal him if we want to, but it's up to you guys. I mean, if turns on us, we're fighting a minotaur, so it's up to you.
Did I say Minotaur? I meant Centaur.
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 You said centaur.
It's up to you. Do we want
to? I got a question. Could I do a knowledge engineering on the type of bear trap to see if it's like orc made?
Please do.
Okay.
need to open this?
Okay, I got a 9.
You can't tell if this is specifically orc made, but this is not human made, this is not dwarf made, and this is not elf made. It is way too crude to be associated with any of that. Maybe like the most amateur human smith might make something like this, but there are like burrs on it, and it looks like you could get hurt just like handling it. So you can't specifically identify it as orcish on a roll of 9, but you can identify what it's not.
Yeah. I'm gonna look at Reed and look at the trap itself and I'll be like, I don't think that's like fucking humans and shit. It doesn't look elvish. It doesn't look dwarven. By what's that called? Como se process of elimination, right?
Yeah, if it's not orc, it's not human. You said it's not orc?
I said it's
process. Fuck is process.
I said it's not human, it's not dwarf, and it's not fucking elf. Thank you. That's what I am.
Got it.
So by process of elimination, like it's got to be orc, right? So
Sounds
I
like a
don't
yes.
think
Stop
I don't think
them.
this minotaur is gonna turn on us, fool. We're not like
Centaur.
fucking orcs, or sorry, centaur is yeah. You fucked me up, Joe. Thanks.
I thought it was a minotaur.
Yeah. I'm gonna be like, hey, Kythar and Sigbert. Yeah. Can you guys try to like pull the trap apart while this booth over here tries to heal him, and I point at Reed.
Yeah, I'll do the
Um,
thing whenever you want me to. Let me get
You
my
say
dice.
Kythar and who?
And Sigbert.
I look at Siegbert. It's like, okay, you're gonna pull the trap. I'm going to pull the chain that's connected to it. So all you gotta do is pull open. You tell me when you're ready. I'm gonna pull.
Okay, is there a chain connected to it? And all that
Yeah,
stuff?
because they have to. It has to be anchored in place. So yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Then Sigbert will go and attempt to open the trap.
Cool. Roll a strength check, and then Kythar, because you're doing more of a speed-based thing, you are looking at a reflex roll.
May I
Compared to
assist
strength?
Sigbert?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and roll a strength roll as well.
Okay.
So strength from Monzo and a reflex from Kythar, please.
For Kythar, the reflex is an unnatural 20.
Great. And then finals for both Sigbert and Monzo, please.
10.
9.
With a combined score of 19, you guys don't have to get this all the way open. You don't have to reset it. You just got to get it open enough to where, when Kythar pulls on that chain, the whole thing's going to slide down the leg and off the hoof of this, horse person who's laying here in front of you with this bloodied leg. And so you guys both strain, Monzo and Sigbert, to get it open. And as soon as you do, Sigbert says, "No!" And, Kythar pulls the chain, and you guys get this thing off. The two of you let go as it snaps shut and flies past Kythar, and you guys have effectively freed this creature from its bonds. And if Reed would like to do any kind of healing action, now is probably a good time for that.
Yeah, I'll use lay on hands.
Go ahead and roll your healing.
He heals for 10.
And as he does, you watch as the black and blue, bruised and swollen area where the hair had been falling off and blood and pus had begun to collect. A lot of that falls away, and much of that damage, and infection smooths over. The swelling instantly drops on it to a point. I mean, he's still absolutely wounded here, but now he could probably put a little weight on this leg, and seeing as he has three others, he's absolutely now mobile. And as he does,
As he's
he comes
good.
back to consciousness, and if you'd like to say something to him, he now looks like he might be awake enough to hear you.
Yeah, as he's coming back, I'm gonna say, "Hey, man, it's okay. You're with friends now."
And you look in the face of this obviously grizzled old centaur. There are As you age, you get streaks of gray in your beard, and he is on the complete opposite end of that, where he only has strips and spots of black remaining, and that black is even begun to dull into a faded gray, and the weathered lines of obviously a battle-hardened face are creased across him, and he looks up at you first, and his eyes are obvious. As he's adjusting, there's a surprise flashes over them, and then he looks and scans at the rest of you all, and he starts to come to, and he clutches his stomach and says, "Oh shit! Oh fuck! Thank you. Does anybody have any food?"
I'll take a ration out and I'll hand it to him since I was right there with him.
And he just grabs that, and he reaches out and grabs it quickly, and he gets it halfway to his mouth, and he stops, and he still holding the ration to his mouth, looks up at and makes eye contact with you, Simone, and utters a quick thank you, and then just gobbles this fucking thing down as quickly as possible. Dude's obviously been super famished, and as he wipes his chin, he looks up at all of the rest of you guys and says, I am Rodok. These woods are my home, or at least they were before the orcs got here." And he looks around and he sees the trap, still crusted with his blood on it. And he says, "That damned thing got me. I don't know how long I've been here. Who are you? You say you're friends."
I'm assuming he's speaking to Reed, right?
I mean, he's speaking
Yeah.
to all of you guys generally,
Oh.
but Reed healed him. You handed him a ration. It's reasonable to assume he's talking to kind of you guys as the front man.
I'm going to look at Simone. I'm going to say we're adventurers and we're trying to stop the orcs.
And he looks inquisitively at you.
So I have a handle for handle animal. I have a +2, so I'm gonna roll and say like, hey,
he's
calm
a
down.
sentient creature, so he would actually be super offended if you tried to like treat him like an animal. Is that still
Okay,
something
so
you want
with
to do?
okay, I
And
have
Kythar
a
would know
knowledge
this.
nature. I have a knowledge nature +4. So Kythar should know this.
Yeah,
So I'm
I'd
gonna
say it's
roll.
reasonable that Kythar would know that. Yeah.
So with that being more than my, so I'm gonna roll to see best way to. It's like, hey buddy, we come in peace. We freed you. We gave you food.
So go ahead and roll your knowledge check.
Yeah, knowledge. 22. Wait. Yeah, 22.
You know that not much has been written about centaurs, and Kythar's not much of a reader anyway. But him and his band were nomadic, and centaurs are also nomadic types of people, and they also have a survival of the fittest mentality, where if you can't keep up, you get left behind. Much like the values and tenets of strength in your own clan.
Yeah.
And so you know
So,
that
so,
it's
so
reasonable to
Kythar's gonna walk.
assume, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. So Kythar's gonna walk him to. It's like, hey man, chill. And he brings out his flask. Is like, hands it to him. Is like, let's have a drink. Let me get to know you. What is your name? As I hand him his drink.
And he puts it to his lips and upturns it completely and holds his tongue out as one drop drops out onto his tongue. And he scoffs and says, "Not much drink."
Kythar forgot about that. He's like, my bad, bro. Next brewery, or sorry, next can give me 1 second. Anthony Face is gonna tell me what I gotta say right now. So
You're fine,
next
dude.
tavern,
I'm worried.
next tavern we go to, first drink, all the drinks are on me.
And he kind of looks at you as he stands up and puts a little weight on his wounded paw.
And
And now that he's standing, he's obviously much taller than all of you guys. He's a horse with a
It's like
dude coming
it's like I don't have anything else, but I have some rations. Would you like my 2 rations?
And he takes them from you and basically eats one pretty quickly, and then the other one he, goes. You see him take it and like put it on his side as if there was like a pouch or a pocket there, and then you watch him like freeze there and like glance down, and kind of make that gesture, like that "damn it" gesture, and he starts looking around.
So I put my hands out. I was like, I will hold that for you.
He's like, "No, I had a satchel. They fucking probably took it. Piece of shit." And
Who took it?
he was like, "Whoever the fuck left that here, the goddamn orcs probably." And he stops and he's like, "So I'm sorry."
Wait, he's saying it with those profanities too?
Yeah, he did. And then he immediately, like, as soon as it comes out, he's like, "No, I'm sorry." And he's like backing himself up, and he like rubs his stomach again. He says, "I'm sorry. You did not obviously catch me on my best day."
A little hangry?
Well, somebody caught you.
Indeed. Said, "I'm sure it was the orcs." He says, he says,
Okay, I didn't know if he was calling that as sarcasm. If he knows what sarcasm is at that point.
That's not something Kythar would know either, I don't think. So,
Sarcasm?
I don't think Kythar would know if the centaur knows anything about sarcasm.
Well, I have a wisdom of 10.
Right.
Okay, we'll go ahead.
That's a different deal. And so, does anybody have a question for this dude before he starts talking?
Yes, I was gonna be like, "Hey, fool! Like, what got you in this predicament?"
going to say, I've been making my way through these woods, checking on its residents. It's part of my duties here. Something that I get in exchange for being allowed to live here in order to exist in a more harmonious space. But he's like, the harmony's all gone out the window. Says the damn orcs have been here and they've been cutting down the forest, and it's even upset the Ent, which is he's been sleeping for hundreds of years, maybe 1,000 years at this point. He's up and roaming around now. He says, "This is serious business."
Ents are real still?
He says, "Ours is. He's an old elm tree." He says, "I was actually trying to find him when I got caught in this trap."
Umbeck, so like, you must know this forest pretty well then, right?
One could say.
You know, I had a thought, fool. We like got you out of this jam, right? We're trying to get through like fucking. I'm gonna kind of point. I'm gonna pull out my map. We're trying to get to the Crooked Gap. Do you know like the safest way to get there would be?
And he kind of squints and looks at you. Says, "What business could you possibly have south of the Gap?"
Our reasons are.
I'm gonna. I would say I'm all. We're adventurous, fool. Look at us. You think we would just hang out? There wasn't gold in it.
Can he understand that we're adventurers?
Yeah, I mean,
We told him.
Yeah, I mean, you guys just told him on top of that.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry, Simone, did you actually get to the proposal part of your sentence?
Yeah. Well, essentially, he said what? Yeah. So I was waiting for his response.
Got you.
Because he asked me.
You know.
Yeah.
And so, fair enough. And you're here because of the orcs, you say? That's your adventure?
That's right, fool. We have to clear out some of these orcs for some puto named Lord. Not Estebar. What was it?
Estebar.
It is Estebar.
It is Estebar.
Yeah.
It is Estebar.
Okay. Yeah. Aldebrand was the other one. Yeah. So for Lord Estebar, fool.
Says, I don't know the name, but lords are supposed to be powerful people. I'm sure
That's
if
right.
coin's what you're after, he has plenty. I can't help you in that department. And he's going to, like, kind of gesture. He's like, I don't even have a pouch to put a ration in.
Say, yeah, but you know the forest really well. And maybe that's how you could help us.
And he says, you'll be out of the forest soon. Why, I might be able to help you the rest of your way. Only be about a half day's journey. But it is back in the other direction, towards the orcs. Looks at all you. You might be able to handle yourselves. Go ahead and roll me a diplomacy check, Simone. And as you are convincing this dude to... And talking is free. Anybody can say anything they want to him.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Would we know? Have we all seen centaurs before, or has anybody seen them, or just read about them, or
About what now?
Centaurs.
Centaurs.
They would be... Okay, let me see. Let me look at each of your background. Monzo, had something like schooling. Reed had something like schooling. Atesk had something like schooling. They all probably know what centaurs are from that. Simone has traveled enough that he probably knows what centaurs are. Kythar has been traveling enough; he probably knows what centaurs are. And Sigbert, I don't know about his education, but he's got more life experience, so we'll say that he's probably run into one or two. So yeah, you guys don't know anything about them really. Like some Kythar's insight about you know, they are nomadic and leave the weakest behind is probably one of the most specific details that any of you guys could like muster about them. But you know, they're like
Yeah.
half horse, half people, and they like live in forests and they're kind of reclusive. You know.
DM question.
Yeah.
Do centaurs in D&D follow the traditional like lore of centaurs, where they're like very literal beings and they're uh,
Spiritual.
very what was that?
Spiritual.
Yeah,
Like they read the cosmos to understand
yes.
the Tavro. Okay.
You can roll a knowledge check and find out.
Cool. Knowledge or not not wisdom, right?
Not wisdom.
Okay.
It's just an untrained knowledge or knowledge, maybe maybe knowledge nature be a good one
Nat
for
one.
that. Nat
Doesn't
one?
matter. I rolled
Nah.
that one.
Nah. Actually, as a matter of fact, on a nat one,
I turned smooth.
Reed is he's pretty
His
sure he
is alpha
remembers
one.
that centaurs are like he heard once that they're like fun loving. They like really like alcohol. They're like here to party. He's pretty sure that's what centaurs are all about.
But then I just saw the interaction with Hythar and the centaur.
Well,
Right.
because
That doesn't
I get-
doesn't track for what you know. But this centaur's also like been in a trap. You know, he's obviously not going to party this second. But that's
Yeah.
You know.
I suppose I'll keep that knowledge to myself then.
Well, I was
Not
gonna
like-
say more or less because I did my whatever I gave him was empty, so he barely got a drop of, and he was kind of pissed off. So that's why I gave him my rations.
Alrighty.
What was your result of your roll, Simone?
22.
22. Yeah. So on a 22, the centaur kind of looks at you all and says, "I'm probably going to slow you down." And he's going to like, you know, kind of lift his foot, which is still partially wounded, and say, "But if you'd like me as a guide and you will truly protect me if and when we get attacked, because if we go back that way, it's almost certain, then I will lead you to the edge of the forest, but no further."
It's okay, man. We're not very fast anyway. Clink clank.
I'm gonna be like, can't be any worse off than we are now, right? And I'm gonna look at Atask for like if he approves of this or not.
I'm gonna ponder for a second. I guess you're right.
I'm gonna look at
I mean,
Professor.
it's like twice the size of us.
I'm gonna look at Arthur and be like, "Does that sound good to you, fool?"
His flintlock was originally at a half cock, and he goes to full, and he just absolutely saddle up, Buttercup.
Monza's going to look at Arthur and say, "What's an int?" Do you know what an int is?
Arthur would know what an int is.
Well, if you travel in the forest long enough, you may find a few tall tree-looking fellers that talk to you.
Tree-looking fellas.
So you're saying like
Is that
these
big or
trees?
small?
Just guys that dress up like trees.
Walking trees.
Trees can't walk.
Okay, like
Ah, you haven't meant an int.
I reiterate my question: is that big or small? Is it redwood or is it sapling?
Redwood.
Jesus.
That's big.
I do have a question for Rodak.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, Mr. Rodak. Is that a good? Do you prefer Mr. Rodak or
Rodak is fine.
Rodak?
Mr. Rodak.
Where's the rest of your kind, your kin?
And then he looks down with a combination of wistfulness, shame, and homesickness. And, you know, doesn't make eye contact as he quietly says, that's a story for another time. Should we ever meet again, perhaps then. He says, save it to say that I I would not have. I will not hold back those who I love. He says like firmly, and he says, and those who depend on me, and you know, and that seems to be all he's interested in saying about the subject.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I just meant, you're out here. It's just you. You're gonna lead us through the forest. Do we have any help or?
He says, well, if we, like I said, I've been looking for Elm, but I can do that while I lead you to the edge of the forest and continue looking for him when I double back. He says uh, there's a fawn floating around here somewhere, Fornus, but he probably ran at the first sight of trouble, and he's been known to disappear into Edgetown for drink anyway. And he says there's also Cathar, the well, he's not real friendly. He's a flying lion man, manticore, I think is what your kind call him. Uh, there are miscellaneous pixies and beasts and critters, but no one who's any match against the numerous orcs.
How do we let the how do we let them know we're also friends of the forest?
So traveling with me is a good start. And he stops and he thinks about it. And he says, when I find Elm, he can speak with the forest. I will have him spread the word.
And you think you'll find Elm today?
Perhaps after I lead you to the edge of the forest, maybe we'll get lucky on the way there, but I do not know. I've been going in this direction away from I've been heading northwest because I'm trying to get away from the orcs, and I'm sure many other creatures have as well. But Elm's a stubborn one and probably will put up a fight. So I don't know where I'll find him.
What does he look like so we can help?
He's a very large elm, and he has arms and legs, and he moves. He'll be very distinguishable, I promise.
So like me, and I'm gonna kind of do a little arm like this.
Except bigger.
And he's going to point to the tree that's 20 feet in diameter and 80 feet tall next to you. And he says, yes, but, and he's going to like point to the tree.
And that's what Arthur said. Big like a tree. Okay, I think I'm getting it. And then I'll get in line, back in line, ready to go.
And I have you guys as Sigbert, Arthur, Monzo, Reed, Simone, Attest, and Kythar. So
Yes.
that is still your marching orders. Then you guys travel on. Does anybody have any questions for this centaur? Because he's gonna pretty much guide you in silence, except for the occasional this way, mind your step, stay away from that, pointing at plants. But if you guys have direct questions for him, he owes you a debt and will answer them.
Yeah, I was gonna ask him a bit. Hey, fool, how many orcs are there?
And he says, I could not say. He says, I haven't gotten anywhere near their camps, and I'm not interested in counting their numbers. And he can say, I can tell you that they've probably taken, and this is all, he's using fantasy terms, but he's like, they've probably taken 2, maybe 3 miles off the edge of the forest. They're moving through the trees quickly, felling all of them and burning them, doing something, building with them. It's not my concern, but they are destroying the forest at an alarming rate. There must be 100 of them. I do not know.
You said you were. Go ahead.
No, you say, Reed.
You said you were checking on, or you keep tabs on the other creatures in this forest. Is this generally a peaceful place?
I have my dinner in the background, so there may be a slight delay in my answers.
Okay.
He says, orcs are no strangers to our wood. and we have been known to deal with the occasional roaming band or two. And he says, but nothing of this magnitude. No one who has had any interest in cutting down our forest, simply passing through it, usually to get to Edgetown or the ports somewhere. He says, we do have carnivorous beasts which live amongst the forest, but that is, and he says, the way of nature. He says, some eat, some are eaten, some days are fortunate, others are not.
Such is life. Shit, I was gonna ask him something else. Is Elm is he a watcher of this forest, just like you, or how is?
And he smiles and he says, "Oh, Elm's been watching this forest for centuries before I was even born." He says, "I don't think anyone knows how old Elm is, to tell you the truth."
What was the centaur's name again?
Murdoch?
What was it again? Sorry.
Rodoc.
Rodoc.
And why are the orcs here? Do you know?
And he says, "I cannot say." He says, they're dressed strangely, and it's usually when the bands of orcs come through, it's a few of them dressed in rags or leathers from slain creatures, presumably consumed, with trophies round their neck, bones, teeth, ears, things of this nature. He says there are so many of these, and they all wear these huge helms with large horns on them and carry wings on sticks. I don't understand it.
That could be what the dream was. Maybe there aren't dragons. Maybe they're the wings. I say that out loud to the party.
There you go with that dream again.
I trust my goddess.
I'm gonna nudge Reed and say that sounds like Nox's flag.
Is that what Nox's flag looks like? I don't remember seeing Nox's flag.
Nobody's seen Nox's flag, but what Monzo is suggesting is not unreasonable.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I'm scatterbrained. Everybody. I don't have anything to add to that.
Yeah, that's all I wanted to ask him.
Okay.
While we were walking.
After you guys have been traveling for an hour or two, he stops you and he holds his head high, and inhales deeply, turns his head, uh, looks around, determines the direction of the wind, and says, "Smoke." There are some of them nearby.
I'm gonna be like, what direction?
And he's gonna point, up basically straight south. From where you guys are at, and he's been leading you guys on a slightly more. I'm assuming you're still tracking your route, and he's been leading you on a slightly more meandering path. You guys are like walking more steps, but as you're like walking on the easiest terrain with the least steep slopes and grades as you're doing so. But he stopped you and said there's smoke, and he points to the south and he says, likely a camp of some sort.
I'd be like, do you know the best way to get around it?
Says, yes, I think I can take us around it. And he says, but I can, we're almost certain to run into trouble while we are anywhere near this smoke, but I will do my best.
It's gonna be like, hey, it's inevitability, but we need to make it to that gap.
And then as he says, all right. And he turns you guys back west and leads you back over the road onto the other side and um, you know leads you basically in the complete opposite direction that you need to go for a short while before cutting pretty sharply, heading south again, and then kind of slowly making his path become more easterly. Um, but he, after another 3 or 4 hours of travel, he stops you all and says, "We're near the edge of the forest," and he stops and he says, "They've been cutting down these trees. We'll be at the edge in the next couple of hours, and you all will be on your own at that point."
Would your tribe help us?
He says, "I have no tribe anymore. My tribe are the creatures of the forest, and as many of them as possible as could have fled north."
Are you willing to help us if we were able to defeat these guys?
And he shakes his head. He says, "My fighting days are behind me. I simply am a shepherd of the creatures of the forest."
Have you tried alcohol?
He says,
Seems fun. Something to turn to safety.
I'm sorry, Reed?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was talking to Summer, everybody. I wasn't on mute.
In response to the alcohol content, he's going to say, "I do not partake often." And he's going to say, "And I know that you have none. Anyway."
I look around to everybody else. Is like, is that sure? Are we all out?
He's going to say,
I don't got any.
a strange gesture to make an offer and then ask your party to provide that which you offer. It's a strange custom.
Part of my party. I'm just seeing if everybody else is be able to chip in.
Chip in. What are you? There are
Well,
chips
count it a force of habit. Anytime I meet somebody, I always offer a drink. At this time of our traveling, I have already wasted all my drink, and I'm just hoping anybody else in my group who are willing to partake in my custom are willing to share.
It's like, that makes sense.
I'm gonna be like, I don't carry alcohol with me, fool. I just got the water and I got the rations.
I got this book, but no beer.
Such as Paladin would.
Is everyone else just gonna stand there quietly?
Definitely Arthur standing there quietly, for sure. You see him like making weird facial expressions.
I love
and
that it's a conscious
just
choice.
kind of like
That's preferred, yeah. Make it. What's your face say? What's your face? How's your face read, Arthur?
I mean, he looks kind of confused, and then he just gets frustrated and just decides to light his pipe real quick. Whatever.
And I look at him. It's like a pirate that doesn't drink. For shame.
A pirate?
It's fine, but no rum. Seeing it killed too many friends.
For Kythar, who hasn't met many pirates, he looks like a pirate to Kythar. So.
Gotcha.
That wouldn't be unreasonable.
Yeah, you see like a little like satchel, like on his satchel, you see like a little bit of like "ye be warned," but it's kind of worn off.
The only gun carriers he ever saw was a pirate, so that's his connection right there. So.
Gotcha.
When Arthur lights his pipe, I'm gonna stand next to Arthur and say, "May I try? I don't think I've ever partook."
It's just tobacco. Here, and then he hands it over.
And a druid walks in. It's like, I got something. Okay, sorry, my bad.
What druid? That's a different campaign, bro. Stay in your lane.
I know, but I
What is tobacco in your world, David, that I just smoked?
Tobacco's probably. I mean, it depends. Arthur probably buys the better stuff. Most of this stuff would be referred to as stinkweed, but that's not the real common term. There is basically some of this stuff grown in a remote region, which is like exported all over the world, and that's the stuff that it's like a whole empire was built on it, basically, and that's the stuff that Arthur has, and that stuff is called kashir.
Well, I'm gonna have to get me one of these. Remind me, next town or next vendor you see, Arthur. This is great.
Absolutely. Keep your senses sharp. That's what it helps me for.
And then Rodok, he asked us a question, wasn't that right? He asked us how we want to handle the camp, or we just.
You guys had wanted to go around it, so he just did his best to lead you around it. And honestly, pulling back the curtain here, like it is wild how low my rolls have been these last two sessions. Like it's been absolutely insane.
I've been waiting for it, and then you're just like, yeah, you got around the camp.
I know, and I'm
What?
like, because I'm like, sweet, like they've got ways to. There's all kinds of ways this ends in conflict, and like one that it doesn't, and it's like rolling the dice, and it's like, cool.
We could do a second
All right.
pass. I left my keys in the last.
All right, so we made it to the edge of the forest, from my understanding.
No, you guys
right?
were still a couple hours from the edge of the forest. Rodok was just telling you, like, oh, we're going to be to the edge soon. Like they've been cutting stuff here. Arthur has lit his pipe and is like passing it back and forth to Monzo as you guys are making your way along, and you guys are, smelling that pungent kashir, kind of like spice clove note as you've been walking through. And after about another 20 minutes, just about the time that Arthur's finishing his second bowl, Rodok stops you again and says, "They're here. Ready yourselves."
I guess.
Rolled well.
Yeah, I know, right? Finally got his roll. Okay, so I'm gonna do a perception check around me.
Okay. Go ahead
Just trying
and
to find
roll
them.
perception, because you don't need to. Nobody needs to survival anymore, because this guy is survivaling for you. Kythar was rear guard. Who's looking around in the back?
I will take a perception. 17, I want to say. Yeah, 17.
26.
You both are able to, once you're stopped, excuse me, once you're stopped and your party is no longer moving, Reed's armor's not moving around, nobody's pots and pans are clanking around in their bags, nobody's sword or hitting trees and roots as you guys are making your way through, and you can hear that the ambient sounds of the forest have been replaced by the errant snap of a twig, the rustle of a brush, and a lot of these sounds are coming from the party's perspective, like the front of them, so that would be southeast is kind of the direction that it's coming from, and Rodok has turned around to face them, to face like the direction the sound is coming from, and is going to turn to you guys and kind of address you all as a party and say, "Are you ready to make good on your half of the agreement?"
You're just gonna. Oh, okay. You're just gonna see Will's claws just go like come out, like deploy,
Right.
like from his paws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They say, "Get behind us, Rodok."
And he is going to move to the rear, and stand with Kythar and Atesk. And basically, I'm giving you guys the opportunity to send other people to the front to do, like, you got some warning. So you know that a fight's coming. These are your last couple of moments. Is there anything you guys want to do?
I'm gonna look around at everybody and say, "Where do you want me?"
Say, in the front, fool.
All right, front it is.
And
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I see Reed walk over to the front, and I start pounding my chest, like, let's fucking go. And as I'm walking up there, I start getting into rage.
Cool. So Kythar can start in rage. Atesk can start with mage armor. Everybody else has their weapons out at the ready. Reed has moved to the front of the formation. And I think that this is a perfect opportunity for us to take our break before we settle in for combat, which will certainly take us to the end of our session. So
Cool.
stretch legs, get drinks, do what you guys got to do, and we'll meet back here. It's 8:02. We'll call it 8:10.
Perfect.
Sound good?
Cool.
Right on.
they're all wearing these huge, like Viking-esque, almost comical. I forgot to actually bring my stream back. I'm a big O dork. Yeah, it's okay. We're just getting started. We're just getting started. It's totally fine. Right, yeah. And so, these orcs are rushing you guys. They're all wearing these huge, like Viking-esque helms that that resemble, like, I don't know. There's not really a lot. They're like goat horns, maybe, like cow horns, maybe. And they're constructed from some bone, some wood, some whatever. But what is most distinct is that they have someone in the back who carries like a longbow, and basically along the front of the longbow is what looks like this huge like bat wing or like dragon wing that is like incorporated into the design of the bow, and he's like standing back there, waving it back and forth, and he's like chanting. He's like, it's like, it's orc chanting, so it just sounds, it'd be the equivalent of someone doing like slam poetry in German while very hungry, like that's kind of what it would come across as from your guys' perspective. But he's just basically back there, like shouting and chanting at these orcs. And actually, yeah.
So if I may ask a quick question about
Yep.
the overlap of the terrain. So, sorry, shit, I'm ping right now. So if I were to dive behind this log that's overturned,
Yeah.
that would be potentially cover,
That'd be partial cover.
as well as this would be partial cover.
Yeah, those would all be partial cover.
Okay.
20% mischance.
Yeah, just want to double check that at my opportunities.
Great. Then we've had you all roll your initiatives, and our dirty 20s, I believe, were the highest rolled. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Great. Then Monzo, you get to start us off because you're actually here.
Okay, so moving and sneak is half your move speed. Is that right?
Exactly.
So I'm going to do 2 rounds of sneak at 40 feet total. 5 foot squares.
We're going to move.
Interesting.
I'll move to behind that tree. And then, so I'm done with my standard actions. Looking at the orcs, does it look orc made or stolen? There's the stuff they're wearing. Like, does it look custom fitted or is it just ramshackle?
Orc style is ramshackle style, but it, if it is stolen, Monzo can't imagine who it's stolen from.
Got it. Monzo's done.
Okay, great. Which means that Sigbert gets to go next.
Okay. Sigbert being. Okay. All right. Sigbert's gonna take a movement action.
Okay.
20 feet. 10, 15, 20. And then he's gonna take a defensive stance.
Great.
And that will be his turn.
I love it. That's a great use of your friend's character. I approve. Playing nice and conservative, not playing fast and loose with somebody else's life. I can appreciate.
I know,
that.
moving up, you're like, but then, yeah.
Okay, so then it's our 19s, which Reed gets to lead. So Reed, you're up.
That rhymes.
Maybe he can't hear me.
Reed is AFK. Joe.
If Reed can't hear
I'm sorry, I was on mute. I'm sorry,
Okay,
I'm here.
Go.
How far is the caster from me? I can't count the squares.
From you, And when you say caster, I'm assuming you're referring to the chanting man.
Yes.
50 feet.
With another guy in front of them.
Yeah, arguably.
Right.
There's
arguably
another orc
between
right
you.
here.
Yeah.
Right. I will go.
Hold on. As a free action, Simone's gonna be like, "Hey, are these putos evil?"
I was gonna get closer, and then I was gonna do that anyway. I want to get up. I want to take 25 feet of movement up towards close to where Sigbert is.
Okay,
I'm gonna
so
stand with Sigbert.
5, 10, 15, 20, or right next to Sigbert.
No, I'll be a little ahead of him. That's fine.
Like right here?
Yeah. Is that max range for me?
That's
No,
20.
you could go up one more square.
Okay. Then I'll go up one square towards the smaller man. Right there. Perfect. Thank you. Do I have line of sight of the enchanter? I don't think I do.
I mean, you're
Not,
just looking past the orc, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's another orc who's obviously directly between you, but yeah, you can see the caster.
Can I use detect evil on him if I can see him?
Yeah, I'll allow that. As long as it's within whatever the range of that would normally be.
I don't think it has a range. I just have to be able to see them.
That is crazy powerful if it doesn't have a range. But you, yeah, big time, big evil vibes.
Okay. Can I cast something?
I mean, it's your turn, so you've only moved. You still have a standard
It's
action.
60 feet is the range.
There you go. And he was
60
only 50 feet,
feet.
to start.
So
yeah,
it's
good.
It's challenge evil.
Okay.
I just have to be within 30 feet of them, which I hopefully am now.
You are not.
You are not. You're 50 feet away, I think.
I was 50 feet away before.
You're 40 feet away
Yeah.
now.
I'm 40 feet away now. Okay, then I will hold my turn, or I'll be done. I'll be done.
Okay, so you sure you don't want to hold your action just in case something happens?
Yeah, I'll hold my action. Yeah.
Okay, you got to lay those conditions out now.
Way too nice.
Thank you. I forgot I could do that. What the fuck?
Right, but you still have to tell me what you're saving it for.
Yes, I'm. If I can see. No, I can't see the caster. If somebody gets close to me, I'll give them a schmack.
Great, love it. That is exactly the kind of thing I'm looking for. Then, as soon as somebody steps within a strikeable space, I will give you the opportunity to do that. Are you done?
Yes.
Sick. Then a Tesk should have plenty of time to look at all of the spells.
What? My turn. David, is this?
Yeah, I was
right
reading.
here?
Classic. What's that now,
Can I
bud?
hide behind the tree that's right here?
Who's gonna hide?
Let me give me a second. I want to clip your hilarious response to that, and then I will look at that shit. Okay.
I've actually been thinking about what I want to do this entire time.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
I'm gonna hide behind the tree.
That's what you're gonna do?
Is there? Could I hide behind a tree? I can't tell. Is there a tree to hide behind?
Yes, there's a tree to hide behind there. Yes.
Great. I'm gonna move my free 5 foot, and then the rest of my, I don't know. I get 30 feet of movement, so that's 6 spaces. So I'll move behind the tree right here.
Cool.
And then I'm gonna cast on these two right here.
Right.
Euphoric Cloud.
Love it.
Where they're in the center of it, so they have to take right.
How big is your radius on that?
It's 20 feet.
Yeah, so for sure you can. Yeah, I got you.
So I want to make them both have Yeah. Actually, I want the center to be right in front of them because they're gonna have to move through it to get to us. So.
Okay, sounds great. So it's. I think you're not threatened, so they just need to make a roll right now to see if they stay awake. What's that roll?
It is a fortification.
Great. At what DC?
That's going to be a DC 15.
One saves, one does not. Let me see here. We'll do it in dice order. The one on the right saves, the one on the left does not.
And if they don't save, what happens?
I don't know. I just put dazed. I don't know what actually happens.
Let me look it up on DP or whatever the website is.
Right, but one of them saved, one of them didn't.
And that will be the end of my turn. I'll tell you what, unless they're going next.
Love it. I appreciate the intent to keep it moving.
They become fascinated.
No, they are not going fascinated. That's what it is. They are not going next. Kythar is going next.
Oh, he needs to roll a d4
Kythar
plus
is going
1
next. I have to
to figure out how many rounds they're fascinated for.
Okay.
Oh,
okay.
Tess does?
Yeah.
Great. Just let me know what that is, and I will take a note. Because
d4 plus
he'll
1.
Get a chance to save every round, but
yes. Well, it says the condition lasts as long as the creature's in the cloud for d4 plus 1 round after it leaves. Any creature that succeeds a save but remains in the cloud must continue to save on the round each turn.
Right, continue to save on the round, yeah.
Yep, that makes sense.
So 3 plus 1, so 4 rounds. Great, I'm going to R4 and counting. You got it. Super sick. We were on...
Probably want to draw the cloud, too.
That's a good call. Fuck, I wish I could make this... there we go.
Oh, it's d4 plus 1 rounds after it leaves. Oh, so I guess the cloud has to actually be gone. Then the rounds tick down. According to the verbiage.
Or if it leaves the cloud. Like if
exactly. Once it leaves the cloud. Right. Yeah.
Right. So you want to do it in front. So 5, 10, 15, 20 would be like...
Damn.
Roughly.
It's like disco lights and shit.
I'm about to say magic is not a perfect process.
Yeah, it's good enough.
Okay.
I'll consent to that.
And neither is the DM's fine motor skills.
Especially with a mouse.
yeah, that's true. 100%.
Okay, Kythar, you're up, bud. Kythar, tell us what you need. Show us what you got.
I like what you got.
Fuck. Okay, hold on.
There you are. There you are.
Button.
You're back.
Yeah. I was trying to find the right button where I wasn't fucking being stupid shit. Okay. I am going to roll. Whoa, what?
Tyler, why'd you do that?
What?
You drew a circle.
I got it.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh.
Okay, well, we'll play. We'll play next weekend. It's fine.
Let's go play with
Tyler
the math guys.
Tyler, whenever. Yeah, we'll wait. No. We'll wait for you. Oh my god.
Yeah, Tyler. No. That's not the problem. It's the other circle. It's the other one. The other circle. The first circle.
Long COVID settling in.
A circle in the game.
Okay, why don't you do that somewhere that's not right over where we're trying to move pieces?
Control Z, Tyler.
It's not there. There's no circle.
It went away. Something went away.
Hey! They were there.
Oh,
they were definitely
He
there.
drew the circle there. Yeah, there's a circle there.
Okay, fucking Kythar, please tell me what you're doing with your turn before I go crazy.
I like when you go. Okay, so Kythar is going to move his full walking rate, running, which is 60. So, Uno. Oh, okay, shit. No. Uno? Nope. That was tab. Uno. Nope. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis, ocho, nueve. So 9 times 5 is 45. So, the fuck?
You're going
trying
left.
to select.
Okay, so you have the ruler selected. On the top left, you need to click the hand again. Click the hand. There you go.
So many errors.
Thank you.
so many.
I was clicking on the arrow. It made sense. There was 9. I have a 5-foot advantage. It's fucking 5 times 9. Joe, what is 9 times 5?
45.
Yeah. My fucking kids don't know. Okay.
What are you doing?
Real road.
What are you doing?
Yeah. Stay on track.
I'm trying to do math. What's
Kythar
which my
trying to
kids
do?
don't
Sorry, it's
know.
my mistake. What's Kythar trying to do?
Oh, Kythar's moving 4 to 5 feet, which he still has an extra 15 feet to decide what he wants to do. And so he's going to move slightly over another 5 right behind this log.
Okay, great.
And
The cloud is right in front of you. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't see the cloud thanks to somebody.
We can see the cloud, can't
We
we?
can see the cloud. It's right there.
I see the
That
cloud.
gray circle.
Soto, you do not see the cloud?
No, I
This is
see the
a-
cloud. I can't see. I see the cloud. I just
Oh.
can't see past the cloud.
Oh,
Because
okay.
it is opaque. It is. It does obscure.
I am stupid, but not dumb.
Are we looking to talk
Yet to be
amongst
determined.
ourselves? Or are we...
Talking is always a free action.
Talking's always, as long as you do it in character, talking's always a free action.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's no way for him to hear me, so, right? He's probably too far.
No,
I'm
it's
in
not.
stealth.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
You're
not
in
character.
stealth.
That's
Yeah.
one
character.
of the few penalties of being in sneak is that you can't be a part of conversations with your party because you're hiding.
I end my turn. Kythar ends his turn.
Lovely. That brings us to our man Arthur.
Yeah, Arthur's gonna use his battered musket and he's gonna shoot at somebody. So probably this filler.
Now, what's he shooting him with?
He's got the new incendiary rounds. So
I just want to make sure that you're tracking that because you only got 20.
yeah, he knows.
All right, sounds great.
Oh.
Then I sent that link to you, right? You like have the stats. You know what that does?
Nope.
Okay.
For the sake of time, we can just say it's regular shot for this one.
No, I mean I specifically gave it to you because I want you to be able to use it and like have fun with it and shit. Fuck, man. I'm gonna rule that it does the same thing that burn damage does, which is a d6 on top of your normal roll until I find the ruling otherwise. So go ahead and roll to hit. I think you're within. Are you within 30? Or are you on a harder shot than that?
Nah, I think it's I'm shooting like 50 feet.
Okay, so if you're at
that's
50,
an unnatural 20.
you're not against their touch, but an unnatural 20 will still beat their AC. So go ahead and roll whatever your normal damage is plus a d6.
So that would be a 4 and then a 1. So 5. 5 damage.
Which guy did you shoot at?
5 damage.
Which guy did you shoot at?
The big one. The one that's like not in the cloud. Right here.
Okay, gotcha.
Side to side.
Cool. Your shot lands, bud. You go ahead and deal 5 damage to that orc, who screams out in pain and looks at you with murder in his eyes.
Well, Arthur can only do one thing. Reload and...
I love it. Are you done, sir?
That's it.
Brings us to Simone and Will.
All right. So, Simone's going to take his free 5. He's going to cast Bull Strength onto Will.
Sick. Make him big and strong.
I would imagine that since they have a connection that he can see them in stealth.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. And then Simone's going to take his second move action and move in front of, I wrote down his name, Rodok. And be like, I told you, fool, we're going to protect you. And then Will, I'm going to have him move. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to try something.
You're all good.
just want to make sure I understand how this works. Okay, so I'd like to make as a full round action. Fuck. Will's going to reserve his turn. If anybody walks past him, he's going to smack him.
Love it. Simone has taken his turn as well.
Yeah, he did 2 move actions.
Great. Which then brings it to me.
Or he did a spell, then a move action.
That's right. Okay. So my first question to a Tesk is, I'm assuming that even my undazed guy is going to have to make his save again as he tries to move through this cloud. Does that sound correct?
You're the unsaved guy, correct?
Right. If the unsaved guy wants to move, he has to.
Yeah, it says right here, any
Make a
creature
save.
that succeeds its save but remains in the cloud must continue to save each round on your turn.
On my turn.
So it'd have to
On
be on
his turn,
Tyler
gotcha.
on
So he
Tyler's turn.
He
Yeah.
does have this opportunity to move freely then. Great, which is the kind of thing that I was looking for. And what was the save again? It was a DC 15.
DC
4
fortification.
4. Great. Then the dazed bro does save, but does that take
It's
his
fortitude, by the way. Sorry, say it again.
turn? The dazed guy did save, which I'm assuming takes at least one of his actions.
I thought he was fascinated at that point, right? Could he make a save when he's fascinated?
Isn't
Creature's
that
answer
Oh,
to
he would take a
quietly
minus-
no action other than to pay attention to the fascinating effect for as long as the effect lasts.
okay?
And according to this, it lasts as long as he's in the cloud, and then for the D4 plus 1 rounds after he leaves the cloud too.
So,
Any creature only creatures that succeed the save but remain in the cloud on a test's turn then have to re-roll to see if they are fascinated again.
Okay, so then he's still fascinated.
And and the duration is 1 round per level. So we're level 5, so it's 5 rounds.
I thought that's why he rolled the D4 was to see how many rounds. I thought it was.
That's
D4
only
plus
that. It says right here the condition. I guess maybe that it just says duration 1 round a level. Then it says the condition lasts as long as the creature is in the cloud, and for D4 plus 1. Yeah, maybe that extends it.
No,
That's up to you. That's
D4
your
plus
ruling.
1 is respective to condition. The 5 rounds is respective to the spell, the AoE effect.
So the cloud will be here for 5 rounds.
So maybe after a 5th, I would say. Oh yeah, there you go. The cloud will be there for 5, but he got affected differently.
Yep. All right,
for as long as he's in the cloud, plus when
makes sense. So then, I'm gonna mark this guy as
I just talked a
2
lot.
because now I need to start tracking his rounds. This guy will be 03 because he's gonna move.
God, why'd you have to get a complicated ass spell, Tyler?
We've used this once before.
Oh, I know we have. We've just been playing it wrong completely.
It's like he only casts magic missile and everybody makes fun of him. He casts something else, everybody makes fun of him.
And then it's God damn it, Tyler. Why'd you have to go and do this to us? Yeah, I know.
Just cast magic missile, dude. Come on.
Okay, Kythar.
Come on. Next round.
Kythar is seeing whether or not he is catching a bolt at this point. So
I'm catching a what?
A bolt. Not a bolt. Javelin. I'm sorry.
I catch it in my hands, right? That's what you're
that
saying?
depends on whether or not a 16 beats your AC.
A 16, okay. I rolled. I am rage right now, right?
Yeah, you are in rage.
Because I rolled motherfucking shit, fucking box. My AC in rage is 15.
That's okay. You're behind cover. You still got a 20% chance, which means if I roll a 1 or a 2 right now, this isn't hitting you. So, let's see.
I hope it's not in me. I like to say what's in me.
It is definitely hitting you. So that bad boy slams you for...
Roll the damage.
9 damage, nearly max. And that's it for
9?
that guy.
Count to 9, David.
That's it for that guy. This guy's fascinated. These 3 guys got to figure out what they're going to do. They rolled their perception check for Monzo. They haven't rolled it yet for Will. Great. Then I think they're more concerned with this man anyway. Reed, go ahead and take your free shot if you want it.
Ooh, I'm gonna back him. Here we go. Let's see. I believe that's a 22. Let me double check.
22 is going to hit him.
52. I'm gonna do
That is a 22, indeed.
Okay,
This
great.
is the 8. This is the 8. 8. So 14. No, 15. 13. Sorry, 13. 13.
13 damage. Final answer.
13 damage. Yes.
Okay, great. Orc 4 takes 13 damage. And that's substantial. That's a significant wound. And
I'm in danger.
let's see here. I need to look at my dude and see what his deal is.
Don't you get fucking pummeled?
So let's see here.
It's all right. We're
This
good.
guy's gonna move over here, and then he's gonna start. And as he hits the final note of all three of these orcs, you can see their eyes literally start to glow.
I understand Orcish.
Do you understand Orcish?
That's right.
Then you would understand that this is like a chant. This is a war cry. These are. You would be able to correctly identify that this is basically the Orcish equivalent of a bard. And you don't know what's going to happen right now, but you do know that this guy is having an impact on these three guys in some way right now.
I'm gonna point at that guy and be like, "Get that puto! He's buffing the rest of them." And I'm gonna point at the bard guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
The man holding the giant winged staff bow thing.
That would be correct.
Yeah, that's this guy back here.
Yes.
Then Simone shouts this. Does anybody have any responses? Talking's always free.
I'm sneaking.
I can. I think I can help.
Yeah, that's a hella racist for some reason.
Okay, are we ready to go?
Yeah.
So then, great. These guys are all going to take their attacks. They get 2 apiece. So.
Who?
That's 21 to hit.
To Reed, right?
To Reed.
Yeah.
That's a 14 to hit.
That doesn't hit.
That's a 19 to hit.
Attacker favor.
That's a 23 to hit. I'm assuming that does.
Hit.
That's a 14 to hit.
Nope.
And that's a
Which one?
18 to hit.
Is it purple and white?
No.
Okay, so that's 3 hits. Not bad. Only half.
Thank God you got that thing, you can heal yourself.
I know.
Also, Tyler, I made
That's,
that meme for you.
That's 21
in Discord.
damage, sir.
Altogether?
Altogether.
Okay.
As you are surrounded by these large creatures, Sigbert standing behind you. You saw Monzo and Will slink off into the woods a moment ago, but now as you look around, all you see are giant orcish figures and a cloud off in the distance.
I'm gonna say this is fine. as you just see me get pummeled 3 times.
That's a clip.
Rock'em Sock'em Robots over here.
Rock'em Sock'em Robots. You're going to be fine. Okay, great. And congratulations, guys. We made it through our first round of combat. We're back at the tippity top. The tippity top. Monzo.
Tippity top.
Monzo, you got us. What are we doing?
So I do know what I'm doing. I'm going to exit stealth.
Okay. You're trying to move in half speed?
Yeah, I'm gonna do a movement of 40 feet. So 30 puts me at the edge here.
The water
Um,
does count as difficult terrain. You are going to have to slosh through it. You don't have to swim or anything, but it is going to slow you down.
Okay, so I have 10 more feet. I'm going to use a key point to add 20.
Okay.
So I have 30 feet of movement total.
It'll take you 20 effectively to get across to the other bank.
So I essentially have, okay, so I'm at this corner. So you said it cost me 20?
Right, so 510 to get you, halfway, 15, 20, and then you get up on shore.
Got it. And then I'm going to use 5 to get there. So
Right.
I still have 5 left over. I'm not going to use it though.
Right.
So I did a move action. I spent a key point. I still have a standard action, correct?
Correct.
Okay, I'm going to try to grapple.
The safety sneak.
Good stuff. Love it. Yeah, give it a go.
The safety blitz.
Did you say safety blitz?
Yeah.
Been watching a lot of football over there, or what?
Oh, what is it?
When it matters. So the total.
You have inspiration, Aaron. You have inspiration. You could re-roll.
But your inspiration also carries over from session to session if you'd like to keep it in your pocket.
Oh, well, I got it a couple weeks ago.
Oh, well, then I think it's time to spend it. But
yeah, spend it.
It's your call.
Spend it.
Oh, what?
Reroll.
He's saying spend it.
You're being rooted on. Hey! Talk about a worthwhile time with a. It would have sucked if you had spent it and gotten a 3, or sometimes, I think it happened to Tyler. He spent an ability, he rolled an 18 and an 18. At least you got a big difference there. And with a natural 20 plus your insane grapple modifier, you are absolutely going to be able to. As a reminder, just pin this guy in place. He can still attack. He can still. He still has control of his body until you pin him, which will be your next standard action if he doesn't break control. But he still has control of his faculties right now. As a reminder, he just can't move.
Yep, got it. And then I was thinking about doing if any perception checks would be helpful, but I don't think so. So let me just glance through real quick. Yeah, I have nothing that would help. I'm done.
Okay, which brings us to our 20 minus, which is Sigbert.
Okay. Seeing that
Reed's in trouble. I'm in danger.
No, I'm fine.
Reed's starting to get rinsed out. Sigbert would walk up into a threatened square with this guy.
Yep.
Moving his 5 foot and then taking. He's going to take. Let me see here.
He has a +1 longsword as a reminder.
He has a longsword and a battle axe. He's dual wield.
But he has a magical +1 longsword, which is
thank you. Yeah.
Yes.
He is going to take two power attacks.
Sick. Level 5. That's the second attack for fighters, isn't it?
Yes.
Sick.
Yes, it is. And he has two. He has 2 weapon fighting and all that fun stuff.
Cool.
So I'm gonna make my first attack here.
So it's like your normal modifier.
Oh, that's pretty good.
-2, right, with the 2 weapon.
Yeah. So the first attack, which is my longsword, is going to be that's a natural 20.
That's gonna hit him.
Okay, and then my battle axe. Oh,
roll to confirm that shit.
-2 to 19.
That's gonna confirm. So roll a regular. So roll your regular attack first, and then roll a second dice. Double the number on the dice, and add the modifier.
I'm gonna roll the longsword first. I think it's this one. Yep. And then the next one. So 5, 7 on the longsword,
Great.
and then the one I crit. So you want me to roll it twice? You said?
No, you just roll it and you double the number on the die.
Oh, okay. So 6, 8.
So 7 and 8.
Yeah. Yeah, so 15.
15. That's some damage.
Oof.
Cool. This orc is definitely in the bloodied condition in the lower half of his hit points.
Does Sigbert say anything that we hear when he does that?
Oh, he goes, yeah!
Meta.
Love it. And I'm assuming that Sigbert is done. That's his action.
Yeah, that'll be both of his. That's his 4-round attack. So.
Then the boy in danger is up.
Okay, so
I'm in danger.
I'm really excited to do this because I haven't had the chance to do it ever. I'm gonna smite evil on the big dude. Could you tell me if they are an evil aligned dragon? Because that will change
If they are an evil aligned what?
dragon. So it says if the target of smite evil is an outsider of the evil subtype, an evil aligned dragon, or an undead creature, the bonus to damage on the first successful attack increases to +10.
No, they are. They themselves are not dragons. No.
Oh, I see. It's not aligned to the dragon. Okay. I'm still gonna do that though.
Okay.
I'm gonna use one of my smite evils on him. I hope I do not roll low.
I think we all hope that.
That is a 19.
That's gonna hit.
Okay. So let's see, where's my D8? 6 plus 5 is 11, plus another 5, 16.
16 damage to. I'm assuming. Which one?
The big man.
The big man. Oh, 1.
Mm-hmm. The one with the shoulder pads.
Yep. So that's. I'm sorry. 15. You said total.
18.
18.
No. 16.
Final answer.
Yes. 16.
Okay, great. As you cleave into this guy, and he, definitely felt that blow, but he is not looking as bad as his compatriot is on your other side.
I figured. And then I still have one standard action, right?
Let me see here. You did not move.
Oh no, I haven't moved.
You did a class ability, and you attack, so you have a movement.
I will. Actually, I'm going to use lay on hands on myself.
Luna.
Can you do 2 class? Can you smite and lay on hands in the same turn? Or do you do those as a swift action because you only get 1?
As a swift action, you choose one target within sight to smite.
And so you've already used your swift action on your smite.
Mm-hmm. Lay on hands is not a swift action. You can heal your own wounds each day. You can use this ability 6 times.
It's a standard action.
Yeah, lay on hands is a standard action.
Which you used on your attack.
Okay, then I will be done.
Great. Brings us to our 19 minus a Tesk, who knows just what he's going to do.
I'm going to cast Sleep on this set of orcs right here.
Okay.
Is it going to hit Reed?
No.
It's going to go outward. No, it would hit. And I think he can control it anyway. How many hit dice worth of creatures do you affect?
4 hit dice. It targets the fewest first.
Great. Then what is the roll to? What's the roll to resist or save rather?
It is a will.
I just zoomed out all these fucking circles.
Wait, what?
I just zoomed out and saw all the fucking circles.
There's no circles. I deleted them all.
No, you did not. Not on my screen anyway.
Oh, well, that's fucked. Sorry then.
No, you're okay.
Inherit the line thickness of the thing that you start them on? That's what I was trying to figure out how to.
What's the save, bud?
I don't know because
I don't think it matters because it was 15, whatever it was, and I just rolled a 19 on the die. So, no, that was for your other spell. I'm assuming your DC is the same across the board, though.
Depends on the class of the spell. You could have a specialization that bumps the DC
That's
for
true.
like.
That's true.
It's gonna take me a second to pull it up because when I clicked on the link in PC, it crashed the whole thing.
That'll do it. Yeah.
Actually, it's DC 14.
Okay. Yeah. He big time saves. These orcs have 4 hit die, so you completely affected the one in the back, but he got the opportunity to save and did, and you did not have any more hit die to bleed over to other creatures. So now Tess knows definitively that his sleep spell will be able to affect one of these orcs at a time.
One orc, okay. And I'll just say my magic didn't quite work on that one. Yeah, sorry. And then really want to move anywhere, so that'll be the end of my turn.
Okay. Brings us to our 18 boy, which is Kythar.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
You just got hit by a javelin, bro. It came out of your left flank.
So this motherfucker.
That's the guy. That's the man. Well,
This motherfucker.
And my AC. So okay, I took 50. Okay, I'm down to 52 damage. I'm gonna go my free 5. Go 1, 2, and I'm going to hit that motherfucker with a falchion one time.
Yeah, you go.
And let go.
You go. You do
and I'm in rage.
Yeah, you are. You're a raging boy.
Just like my penis. All right, I'm gonna roll.
That's why your teammates call you Red Rocket.
19.
That's gonna hit him.
Okay, so it is a 2d4 plus 6. So 2d4s, right?
Yeah, so you'd roll 2d4s and then you'd add 6 to whatever those dice say.
Okay, gotcha. 1.
On the floor.
Yeah.
Doesn't count. You gotta roll it on the table.
Oh, come on! It was a fucking.
Nope. If you can't control your dice and keep it on your rolling surface, it doesn't count.
You can't.
We've always had that rule, even in Magic the Gathering.
Off the table doesn't count. It was a 3.
That's not bad. Okay. So 4 plus.
1 plus 3 is okay. 1 plus 3 is what, Joe?
What's your modifier? We don't have time for this. What's your modifier?
Yeah, 1. Okay, so 4 plus 9. Sorry, 6.
4 plus 6,
10.
so 10. 10 damage. That's a big hurt. That's a big ouch. Oh, 3. You got first blood on this orc.
First blood.
No, he technically got first blood on me.
Well, you got the first strike against this orc in particular, I guess is what I was trying to say.
Okay. You have to be more.
Anything else? Anything Kythar says? Anything to do?
I lift my flap up and wiggle everything in front of it.
And he reaches out to grab your dick. Roll reflex save. No, I'm just kidding.
What if I let him?
18 plus.
Let him.
Reflex. Reflex.
I was kidding. Arthur, you're up.
21.
Arthur,
It's not canon. It's not canon.
Fanfic.
No, it's just erotic fan fiction.
Hey, let Arthur have his turn, guys. Come on.
Yeah, he's going to do the same thing as last turn.
Cool. Oh, that's a nice roll.
Yeah, I think that's going to hit since
I think you're good. Because if you're getting a plus like 1 or 2, you're going to hit. So.
Hey!
That's a big roll. Plus your d6. Nice. Against the big
13 damage.
Damn.
Against 1, 13.
Who is he shooting at?
The biggins.
The big guy. The same one you swung at just now.
Shoulder pads.
Shoulder pads. That's the one.
Is his name.
And are you done, Arthur?
He's done.
All right. Me and Simone and Will are up.
All right. So for Will specifically, I'd like to now make a charge attack. It's a full round action. I get to move my normal movement 1 round, and at the end of that, I get to make a full round attack.
Yeah, and I think you have to move at least 10 feet, so you'd have to take 1 step back to hit the guy closest to you or hit one of the other 2 guys.
I was going to hit this guy right here.
Perfect. You're already 10 feet away, so.
Yeah. So that's gonna happen. And now I'm going to make a full round attack on that guy.
Pounce on him. Get him, Will.
All right, let's see. That's a 20. Oh, 24. Second one is a. That's it.
Okay, well, the first one, the 24 is going to hit, so
All right,
you can roll
cool.
damage for that.
Yep. 9.
9 damage on the orc, 5.
This guy.
And Will gets first blood on that orc.
Cool.
I'm sorry, there was a. How much?
It's 9 damage.
9 damage. You got it.
Yep. And then Simone's gonna take 2 shots at Mr. Biggins.
Sounds good. Take him.
All right, here we go. Simone is very easy on his attacks. Great. Why is there so many circles over here?
Because Tyler can't see them, so we can't delete them.
I just saw it. It's outside the map. Okay.
Wow, and I'm really glad I made the suggestion to do that somewhere else.
16.
Damage?
Attack. For my crossbow.
Oh, for your crossbow. That's right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was still on Will's claw.
Totally fine.
Yeah, 16 is not going to hit. I'm sorry.
Okay. Last one. That's not going to hit.
Hit
all right. That's the end of my turn.
All right, Simone. Okay, that does bring us to...
I am out of stealth now.
Oh, that's right. Which means you would have been going against his flat-footed AC. Give me a second. That first one might have hit him. Let me double-check that. What was your final on the first one?
For Simone or from Will?
For Simone.
Because
Will hit anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
Looks like you rolled an 8 plus whatever your crossbow was.
Yeah, so it's a 16.
That actually would have hit him. I forgot you were in stealth. So call out. So roll your damage.
7.
Sick.
See?
And that was orc 1?
The big miss, the same one that
shoulder pads.
Arthur, yes.
You got it. Great. Then it does not fell him, but he is not looking like he's in very good shape.
I look at Arthur. I'm following your lead on this one as I took the shot and hit him with my crossbow.
Oh, I can't see the cloud anymore. Did somebody erase it?
I don't see it either. Where'd it go?
I don't see it either.
I don't see it.
Okay. Well, they were standing here 5, 10, 15, 20.
Huh, that's weird. All of the circles are gone now. I wonder who went and deleted those.
Okay, great.
Oh, did I delete everything?
Yeah, I think you also deleted the cloud.
Oh, I didn't know it deleted everybody's shit. Sorry.
You're all good. We only had one important thing that was drawn in, and it's easy enough to redraw. I just counted it off.
And you ruined it.
We're fine. We're fine.
Wow.
We're fine.
I ruined it. I was trying to get rid of the damn circles. Everyone's complaining.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tyler, we're glad you're here.
I think just one person was complaining.
Okay, so let me see. I'm going to start with the Mr. Man in the back, I think.
Mr. Man.
What's he going to do? What's he going to do? What's he going to do? He's going to continue his chanting He's going to continue his chanting, and the eyes of the people all around Reed are going to continue to glow. But Monzo is going to hear the brush moving farther south, and when he turns, he's going to see 2 pairs of glowing eyes moving very quickly towards him, as there are another pair of orcs, which appear from behind the brush, and he hears more movement back there. Now that he's like looking that way, listening, like he's got reason to believe there's probably more of these guys back here.
Okay, could you give me an idea of the distance?
I'm
You just
literally
wanna put
going to
that
drop
bottom-
them in right now. I'm literally going to like give
That
you
works too.
actual real tiles.
I prefer you if you didn't drop them in, actually.
And they are moving towards you, and they're going to take their entire like turn to come in. One of them's not going to quite get to you. The other one is, but they're not going to have any actions left to attack. Their eyes are also glowing, however. The shaman man used that to do that. Still has a movement. Breaking free of your grapple is a standard, or is it a movement? Do you know?
Breaking free. Let me check my cheat sheet.
Because I know you have the cheat sheet, which is why I'm asking. While you're looking that up, I'm going to roll my medley of attacks. Let's see here. We had some successful strikes, so one warrior is going to turn around this way. The other one is going to... Big man's going to move towards Simone. Reed gets an attack of opportunity if he wants it. If he does not speak, he will not get his attack of opportunity. Does he want his attack of opportunity?
Sorry, I was on mute. Do I add my normal attack bonus to this?
Yeah, it's just regular.
Okay.
It's one regular attack.
Got it. 25.
That's going to hit him.
D8. 7.
7 damage puts this guy basically on death's door as he gets in Simone's face, and his eyes, as he walks, towards you, Simone, you watch his eyes no longer glow as he, steps up towards you, and he rolls a natural 20 and a 5 on the dice. The 5 turns into an 11, which I don't think is going to hit even Simone. Simone?
Very sorry. I went to get something to drink.
I don't think an 11 hits you, does it?
No, it does not.
Okay. The other one was a natural 20. I'm going to roll to confirm on the fucking tabletop dice.
Okay.
That's great. I doubt very seriously that a 9 confirms. If an 11 didn't
it does
hit,
not.
So that's just our standard, regular, everyday hit for 8 damage on Simone. The other 2 glowing boys are now on different targets, but their eyes are still glowing. You have a 17 against Will.
That does not hit.
And his other attack is 20 plus, which I'm assuming hits.
20 plus what? Because he has
he is 20... a 23 specifically.
Yep, that one hits.
Okay. The man still swinging at Reed is a 19.
Is he swinging at me?
He's swinging at you. It's a 19 and a 16.
19 hits, 16 does not.
Okay, great. So the one attack which hit Will is 7 damage. The one attack which hit Reed is max at 10 damage. And my man has chanted. My orcs have shown. He has attacked. We're still fascinated. I'm going to up his round counter. And we're back to the top with Monzo.
No, you missed the guy that I have grappled.
No, I didn't.
Oh.
He didn't try to break free.
He's still chanting. He chose to take chanting. Oh, unless, I'm sorry, did you get, was it a movement to break free, or is it a standard action to break free?
I believe it's a standard action, but I think Anthony was looking it up too.
Okay. Because if it's a movement, he'll try and do that. If it's a standard, then he's not.
I'm pretty sure it's a standard.
Yeah.
Which sounds correct to me.
Got it.
So it has to be either a escape artist check or a combat maneuver check. So that would be a standard action.
Okay, I'm going to stay grappled.
Yeah, so
How does
you can attack him, uh, or you can try and pin him, are basically the two big things. Or you can, I think you can try and move him as well. But those are kind of the advantages of being grappled.
Yeah, I for sure want to attack him. Attacker roll. Let's see.
Pinning him, he loses all of his AC.
But you won't be able to attack him this turn. You'll be able to attack him next turn, and he's got friends in the area. So that will be a definitive gamble.
Yeah, and that's kind of the issue. I'm going to. I don't want to waste damage on him, so I want to attack him.
Okay, great.
Which I think I could look at. It removes something from his AC. I don't know.
I will do a quick search. You do your rolls. I'll do the Google search.
Let me make sure I don't roll. So it doesn't. And I want it to be a flurry of blows, which is 2 attacks.
Take a -4 penalty to dexterity, so effectively it's a -2 to his AC.
And my first attack was a 8 plus 6 minus 2, so 12.
12 will hit while he's grappled.
Okay, my second flurry of blows will not. So let me do damage. One thing of damage. Max damage at 11.
Ooh, fun! Look at you guys.
And then I'll be done. The two orcs that are charging me, do they look similar to the ones that I've seen, or is there anything distinct?
They're kitted the same, combination of leather and mail, shields, large, axes and swords and blunt weapons and things, orcish stuff.
Warrior 3 and 4 show up. I'm done.
Yeah, pretty much. Great. Then if you are done, that brings us to Reed. No, I'm sorry. That brings us to Sigbert.
So, Sigbert.
Sigbert.
Well, knowing that Sigbert can't leave without
Invoking an attack of opportunity.
Invoking the attack, he'll probably take then 2 attacks onto this guy to try to finish him off.
Sounds great.
Wait, we don't have 2 attacks right now, do we?
No, but your fighter does, because that's all fighters do is attack.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I have 2 weapons. He has 2 weapon fighting.
Got it.
So you can make extra attack each round with your second weapon.
Right.
So first attack. 9.
Not gonna hit.
Okay, second attack. Ooh. 18.
That's a hit.
Okay. Five.
A bit more substantial of a blow may have felled the creature, but he pulled away at the last moment, and the cut was not as deep as Sigbert was intending to inflict. And unfortunately, this orc is still standing.
Sigbert goes, damn it! And readies himself for another attack.
Cool.
Now it'll be Sigbert's turn.
Then it is Reed.
It's me again?
Yeah.
Oh.
Monzo, Sigbert, Reed. Yeah, that's the order.
I guess I'll take an attack on the guy in front of me. Actually, no. I'm going to do channel positive energy. That's what I was going to do.
Okay. On yourself? Or I guess it radiates out from you, right?
Yeah, everybody within a 30-foot radius.
Okay, so let's count that out. Looks like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Monzo is just out. Sigbert's obviously in it. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Kythar's out. Simone is in it. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 5, 10, 15, 20, 20. Yeah, Simone is in it. So Simone catches healing. Sigbert catches healing.
Will.
Will catches healing, and yourself catches healing. I'm sorry. Yeah, Will. You're right.
Okay.
How much?
6, 12. Whoa. Okay. 18.
18 health?
Yes.
I'm at full health.
That's substantial.
Yeah,
is
that's crazy.
Hot hands.
Does channel positive energy have effects on evil creatures?
It does, but they have to be undead.
Yeah, that's
Let
correct.
me.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Don't worry, I promise. You'll
That's
get zombies
undead.
eventually. At some point, you will get some undead.
So, there we go.
So everybody gets 18 health. You still have your movement if you want it.
Yeah. No, I'm not gonna move right now.
Okay.
I'm done.
Then brings us to a task.
Wait, is it my turn?
It is.
I'm gonna cast a scare on this guy right here.
Okay, cool. You'll have to. Well, I'll ask you what.
15 will save. Or I'm sorry. Yeah, it's 15 will save. It's a partial save, so he's either frightened for 5 turns, or scared for 5 turns, or shaken for 1 round if he fails.
He did save, so he's frightened for 5 rounds.
He saved?
He did.
Saved.
Yeah.
He's shaken for 1 round.
Shaken. No, okay, I'm sorry. It was the other way around then. Shaken, Pathfinder. So he gets a -2 hit. -2 on attack roll, saving throw, skill checks, ability checks. Sounds great. Shaken. What else, bud?
Nothing. I'll wait. I'll hold my movement for if any person comes
Moves
near
towards
me.
you, you'll move an equal distance away.
Yes.
That's on brand for a task for sure.
Yep.
It's like when your dog runs away, just the
turn.
opposite side of the couch.
You can't get me. You can't get me.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Kythar, you're up, bud.
Sorry, I gotta unmute myself. Let's fucking go. Okay.
Oh.
Do it.
I'm gonna swing at the next motherfucker that is next to me.
Yep. Figured you would.
Yeah.
That's 3.
So next time I'm gonna do a enrage double strike.
You have a second attack as well?
Okay. So I have a falchion.
Right.
Both hands.
So you're gonna do a 2-handed attack.
Yeah, 2-handed attack. Is that only one?
Yeah, you only get 1, but you get to use the 2H part
2H.
of your weapon.
Yeah, okay. That's the only time I use my weapon is 2H. Okay, go. I'm using 2H now. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Here, blow my balls.
Roll
David, blow.
Roll the hit.
Good blow.
Roll the hit.
Come on.
Roll the hit.
It's gonna be a 11.
An 11. That does not hit.
It does not hit. Okay.
Does not hit.
So as I miss, I swing past him and give him a shit-eating grin. That's all I got.
As your falchion embeds in the tree next to the two of you, and you have to take a moment to.
Okay.
You have to take a moment to pull it out.
Okay, fair enough.
Like Gladiator.
Okay.
Yeah. It happens, you know.
Okay, we're not talking.
You're swinging with a lot
it's
of
not
force.
it's not the first couple scenes. It's not the first couple scenes. It's like well embedded in the fighting action. Stover, But yes, I hit the fucking tree
It
and get stuck
happens.
there.
Shit
I re-
happens, you know. It's
Okay,
Russell
that guy,
Crowe,
that
get
guy,
after
nobody
you.
saw
the
it.
other guy
Nobody
gets
saw
marked.
it. It's fine, you know.
Stover saw it. It's like embeds in the tree, right?
Speaking of Stover, it's going to be his turn if you got nothing else to
Thank
do.
you,
guys.
Stover. Thank you, Stover.
There's no problem.
Go ahead, sorry, my bad.
All right, Stover, you're up. Or Arthur's up, rather.
Yeah, Arthur's focusing fire on the same guy.
Shoulder pads. Against his touch AC, that is going to hit.
All right, right on. Oh no, that's only 1 + 1, so that's 2. Let's see if the D6 has anything to say. Wow. All right. Well, a whopping 3 damage.
3 damage is actually enough to get
Yes!
this
There
guy.
it is.
So
Oh yeah.
he is now a very dead orc. How would you like it to happen?
Let's see. I guess since it was like only a little bit of damage, it like hits his stomach, but it goes sideways, so like it just kind of cuts open his stomach, and then he's just like, and then you start seeing the guts fly out.
With a terrible smell, Simone. Like as soon as this orc's guts spill out, like you almost vomit with the stench.
What the fuck, fool? What's this puto been eating?
I'm sorry. I just saw orc read. I'm sorry.
We've been playing a game of Rock'em Sock'em Roboto.
Monzo's about to start playing that game too. What? And are you doing anything else with your turn, Arthur?
Arthur's gonna continue to reload and hold his position.
All right, Simone and Will are up then.
Okay. So
Hey, we
that
can
guy's
handle
dead
this
now.
guys. I'm gonna go help Monzo.
Yeah. So Simone's gonna take 5-foot step this way, then 5, 10, 15, 20.
Okay.
I don't want to get any closer. I am 5, 10, 45, well within feet of casting a spell, and I'm gonna cast.
Cast a spell.
Oh, do I have to touch you? Creature touch. Damn it.
Ooh, we gotta get real close for that one.
I do have to get really close for that one. Son of a bitch. Okay. So I'm going to. Simone's gonna then take a shot at this guy right here.
All right, take your shot. Shoot your shot.
Treat yourself. That's what you're trying to get at. Shoot your shot.
Alright, let's see.
Oh, that's probably gonna hit him.
20. It's over 20.
That hits him.
Let's go.
Okay.
Where's the bleach spray?
3.
Is it out there?
Damage oh my god, you guys are killing me. You get him with a bolt, and it's ooh, he's hurting, he's bleeding. Oh, you're getting him.
Okay. Will, being catacorner to both of them, is gonna make one attack onto this guy.
Great.
21.
That hits.
Okay.
Andreas, welcome. Yeah, you know, that's the beauty of having multiple campaigns. You can recycle maps. What you get?
14.
Ah, there it is. He's dead.
Okay.
Yes.
And then I'm gonna take my next 3 attacks onto this guy.
Cool.
All right. First attack. 15.
Does not hit.
I don't think that hits. That's
That's
over
gonna hit.
20.
Yep.
And
That's not gonna
if that first one, so.
So you get one.
Ayo, that's 13.
Fuck yeah. Great. He is still in the top half of his health points, but just barely. He has
Nice.
been struck multiple times.
And that will be the end of my turn.
Great. Then it's my turn.
Does the bard have to roll a save to get out of grapple?
If he chooses to.
Okay.
We're going to start with the orc on Kythar, who's just going to take a couple swings at him.
So I was going to take swings.
It's a 13 and a natural 20. Natural 20 to confirm is a 11, which I don't think hits you.
Nope.
So that's one strike against you for 7 damage. We've got one.
Wait, for 7
Yeah, one strike against you for 7 damage.
You said 11, right?
11 was to confirm the natural 20 that he rolled.
Oh. Okay, I take 11.
So then Orc Warrior 5 is going to... what is he going to do? He is... Reed, do you have half your hit points or more?
Or more.
Will, do you have half your hit points or more?
Will just got healed for a lot.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he has more than half his health hit points.
Yes, he does. Yeah, he's full life right now.
Then... Yeah, and he's going to swing at Reed. That's a 24 to hit and
that hits.
Dirty 20 to hit.
Those both hit.
That is... Oh, that's a lot of damage.
There you go, Aaron.
That's a lot of damage.
That's what I hear.
That's 17 damage. Then our orc warriors here. What the fuck are we doing?
I'm gonna I'm gonna be my chin's a little bloodied up. I didn't hear no bell.
God.
So you are going to Monzo. Monzo is going to hear this creature, and he stops singing the song that he was singing, which he was like, even though you were holding him in place, his body was physically turned away from you to, he was kind of splitting his time, kind of like yelling, chanting in the direction of the two new orcs who just appeared from the brush, which I will remind you, even though you can see these two, the brush is there's still definite movement back there somewhere, independent from these two orcs who have just emerged. And he was, kind of directing it at them as well as the orcs that were over at Reed. And now he's stopped and he is just staring dead into your eyes. And he's now chanting a new song. And you can see sparks of electricity start from the corners of his eyes and the tips of his fingers, and he reaches forward and pushes with all of his might against you with his hands like ablaze in there's a thunder strike out of nowhere which comes down and hits the dragon staff thing that he has, which he channels through him and slams that into you, and he needs to roll an attack to hit. This isn't free, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that here. Okay, that's pretty low. Plus his modifier. That's a 15 to hit.
My AC is 16.
Wow. Cool. So you are able to like wrench out of the way at the last moment and watch this like huge discharge of electricity, and everybody can see this because it shoots like it's a bolt of lightning that fucking comes down on this dude in the middle of combat, and then like like channels through him and like ricochets off a rock right behind Monzo before dispersing and leaving this like huge scorch mark in the rock. And it's obvious that it's quite a bit of raw power that is being channeled here. And if he can do that shit again, this is going to be a real interesting deal. But he is still grappled, and did not use his action to try to get out of it. And the other two orcs are just gonna move up on Monzo and take some little attack whacks. Oh shit. That's a natural 20 and a natural 18, which are both going to hit. Rolling to confirm the 20, which is a natural 1, which is not going to confirm. The other orc has a 17 and a 19 on the die, plus their modifiers. So that's 4 big swings, Monzo.
I've been here before.
We've been here before. I'm gonna roll in the game because that's what we're gonna do here. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I think Monzo's in it right now.
24, 8, 32, 36 points of damage.
I think I'm still alive. Yeah.
You're good. You're fine.
6 life in 1 hit. Nice.
Anybody who looks up at Monzo can see that he is now in the situation that Reed was in just a moment ago, except there was lightning involved, and there are now 2 new orcs that were not there a minute ago. That is the end of initiative order. It's 9:37. How are we feeling, guys? We want to go another round, or we want to call it?
I think it's good for sleep time.
Good for some time.
Really good time.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Then I appreciate you guys being here. I'm glad that we finally ran into some orcs, and you guys will finish kicking their ass next week.
Sounds good.
Cool.
Hey, Soda.
Great.
All right.
What's up?
Thank you, David.
Oh, no problem. Thank you
Hey.
guys. Thanks always for being here, for playing, for wanting to be a part of it, and I'll catch you guys all next week.
Sounds good. See you later.
Cool.
Okay,
Cool.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you, Dave.
Manston ground his wires. No. Yeah, it was. And I probably could have ruled that as an automatic touch attack because he was being grappled and being like held down by Monzo. But it does pretty substantial damage, and I didn't want to just automatically hit him with that, knowing that he was also going to be hit by these two guys. So I played it rules as written rather than like if it was one of my players and they were like, "Come on, he's touching me. You should get hit with the electricity." I'd be like, "Yeah, sure, absolutely." But because it's the other way around, we'll play rules as written and try to not hit Monzo because if he gets hit with a certain amount of damage in one turn, it's just instant death, and that's not fun for anybody. So give him a chance to save at least, give him a chance to miss. Had a real dramatic moment, missed it by 1 point, it's like, that's great. That's what we're going for here. So let's take a look here. I got two viewers. I'm pretty sure that's enough for a raid. So let's raid Jarl. Jarl's got people. Yeah, he's playing Dungeons and Dragons though. So Jarl of Goats. All right, y'all. We play on Wednesdays and Fridays now. About 6:30 is when we start both those games. This Friday, I don't know if we're going to stream it because we're going to probably have a session 0 character building type deal. But who knows? Maybe we'll stream it. Could be fun. Until then, I will catch you guys later. Later. Treat Jarl well. We're going to go raid him. Andreas, thanks for being here. I appreciate the hell out of you, man.
Want to spin in group inspiration on? Oh, finally it's a raid! Thank you, OG Murphy. Now I have inspiration.
And I think that's it, yeah.
Do you want to spend a group inspiration to give him disadvantage?